Hey.
All right.
Holy,
What
thanks
is
for
going
bearing with
on,
us.
everybody?
Episode 126. Hold us
Live.
accountable. Thank you. for
Live
bearing with
from
us.
the Green Bay UFO Museum Record Store and Gift Shop.
Heck yeah. Hold us accountable.
Hey-o.
Tuning in, I know your time is valuable. There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy dudes from Wisconsin who like to discuss
Three of them.
problems and
Gonna have a fourth soon.
and challenge the
Man.
listeners
Ice
to
cold
get
old
another
Milwaukee.
thought. So try some
God, I could
shit
use about 17 more of these.
more of these
Holy
bad boys.
shitballs.
Yeah, this is
Cheers to the crowd. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, everyone. Thank
Woo!
you.
Big night.
Big night. I wish we had a camera on all you guys.
Oh, I did bring the webcam. Forgot to.
We made it.
We
We made it.
got a lot going on.
Yep.
Woo-hoo.
Hell yeah.
We are up and running, and we are live.
Yeah.
Episode 126.
Episode 126. Special
Yeah, man.
one.
Mm-hmm.
We are, and live at the Green Bay UFO Records. God damn it.
It's a long
UFO
name.
Records.
a long name.
UFO at the Green Bay UFO Gift Shop and Record Store.
Yep.
You forgot museum in there,
And,
but that's
oh yeah,
all right.
Dream UFO. Gee, god damn it! I've only said it about 1,000,000 times,
Yeah.
and then anyway, go live and I can't figure it out.
Get a little shaky. Get the nerves
All
out.
right, hold on. Let me get a.
There we go.
There you go, bud.
Thanks for everybody tuning in,
Yeah.
joining
Yes.
us live. Special episode.
Oh, this is
super
very
special
special.
episode. Max,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Man.
What do we do here on this podcast, bud?
So yeah, if anyone out there in the audience is new to Hold Us Accountable, what we do here on Hold Us Accountable is we try a new skill, a new challenge about every month. Then once a week we talk about it, the ups, downs, the good parts, the not so fun parts.
If you're good, if you're bad, if you just sucked, and
No.
probably should never do it again.
So like, for example, some of the things we've tried in the past. First thing we did was jujitsu.
Yep. We did done some woodworking, a little bit of woodworking projects,
yeah.
couple of them.
We've done some stand-up comedy,
Yep.
some good ones, some really bad ones.
Basically, the whole point of our podcast is to do something, get us out of our comfort zone, and get out of the just regular working every day. Try something new and spice
Yeah.
up the everyday life a little bit.
Gives us a
Yeah.
reason to get together, talk, hang
Yeah.
out, and then also we're just trying to invigorate
Yeah.
broaden
Broaden the horizon.
broaden the
a little
horizon,
bit.
yeah,
And drink beer.
and drink
beer.
some beers.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there anyone out in the audience? Is anyone trying something new currently? Anyone?
Oh,
what
way
you got?
in the back.
What you got?
What are you trying?
Coming to a
go.
podcast. All right,
Thank
live,
you.
going to a live podcast.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Hell
Anybody?
yeah.
Anybody
We love
else?
Anybody else out there? Anybody? Yep.
I picked up an airbrush and started playing around with that.
Oh, awesome.
Airbrushing, very cool.
Awesome.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
Has that been? You've been liking it, enjoying it?
Yeah, it's amazing just how much you can do with one of those things where you think it would just be like a spray can or something, but you can get so detailed.
Okay.
Then it's just crazy.
What kind of projects have you worked on with it?
I just been starting out beginning.
Nice.
Working on probably painting miniatures, gaming miniatures. And
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
so it's pretty interesting.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Good for
Nice.
you. Anybody else?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's
Good.
the whole point of the show is something you've always wanted to try, but maybe
Yeah.
life gets in the way and you're just like, I'll do that next week or next month, and then it turns into 2 years later. Yeah.
Let us know.
Yo!
Hey!
How's that going?
A lot of highs, a lot of lows.
Want to go on a first date to the UFO museum and record store?
I found this one a couple blocks away.
Nice.
There you go.
Hell yeah, there we go.
That's awesome.
Sounds good.
Anybody
Very
else?
Anybody? Anybody?
Mom?
Try any new
Yeah,
beers
yeah.
lately?
Trying a new
There
first
we go.
time. First time. We're all kind of first time. I don't know, Shamo, have you had Old Milwaukee before?
I don't remember.
No.
Probably not.
I definitely have not had it. So,
Well, you'll figure it out.
We'll tell you about it. Yeah. If you're,
Yeah.
well, so
Buckle up and figure it out.
so we're drinking Old Milwaukee. We'll get to why we're drinking it and,
Yeah.
and everything. And,
Yeah.
But I think it's time to bring up the fourth member of our crew here
Yes,
tonight.
the reason we're here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest on the show tonight. He's an entrepreneur, an inventor, an entertainment pioneer, and author. He was born and raised here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and amongst many things, he is the founder of the first lighted dance floor manufacturing company in the United States. At 16, he completed hand-making his very own movie camera. He ran a pirate radio station for 5 years, which outperformed many of the other local radio stations in the ratings. He developed Wisconsin's first all-night TV station, first mobile DJ service, first independent video production company, and first drone media production company. He's truly ahead of his time, and his fingerprints will forever be on the entertainment and media production industries. From filming homemade movies on his homemade movie camera to hosting lip-sync battles, he is a natural entertainer. Please welcome Doug Heim! Watch the court. Yep.
What an intro.
Yeah.
That got me hyped up.
I know.
That was awesome.
Bringing Doug
Welcome up here,
Hey,
Doug.
Doug.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Put on the cans, as
they're
we like to
perfect.
call it in the industry.
Perfect.
Awesome.
There you go.
Sounding good.
Yeah. Wow.
Awesome to have you here, Doug.
Yes, thank you for joining us again. Last time you were on the show was episode 52.
Yep.
Best episode.
Probably the greatest
Yeah.
episode we've ever done.
Yep.
71 episodes ago. You guys have done 71
Yeah.
episodes
Yep.
since I was
Yeah.
last on.
Yep.
Probably drank about
Wow.
1,000 beers.
Yeah.
It's been a
Right?
good time. But yeah,
Yeah.
welcome
So-
to the show.
And Doug, as you know, here on Holds Accountable, we like to try new things. Every month we try something new, but something we try new every week is a new beer, and this week is no different. And we save the best for first here on Holds Accountable. It's our beer of the week.
We recorded this song
Yeah.
on our
This is
last
Doug
episode.
Heim.
This was recorded on episode 52 with Doug.
Beer is good.
We've kept it ever since.
You remember recording that one, Doug?
You can come up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That was
Something
good.
like that.
You want to pass that
Yes,
down?
sir.
So we picked this beer because
Oh, you need another one down there?
might as well. Yeah, feel
well.
free
Yeah,
whenever
you're fine.
if
You can walk in front of the camera.
There's
It's
also
okay. Don't worry
soda
about
and
it.
water and stuff up here too.
Makes it kind of look more like a live show, Feel free.
Yeah,
It's all right.
feel free.
Snacks, funny.
So why are we drinking?
overdo it.
Why are we drinking this beer?
I know why.
Yeah, why is
Tell
that?
us why, Doug.
Well, you guys asked me what kind of beer I drank early on, and I told you in the first interview with you guys that I drank Old Milwaukee beer for the first beer I ever had in my life. And
Okay.
I always thought for the rest of my life that's what beer is supposed to taste like. And as I'm here tonight, I have to honestly tell you, I have not had an Old Milwaukee beer in years.
Oh,
Since the first
So-
one?
Yeah.
perfect.
Cheers.
This is
Cheers.
great.
Cheers.
Beer
Yeah.
of the week.
Cheers to everyone.
Cheers,
All right.
everybody.
So you said this was the first beer you've ever had,
Yes.
Yep.
and did you just like?
My brother snuck me the beer.
Oh,
He,
okay.
Nice.
he went, off into the Navy. The Air Force. He came back on break or leave, as they call it. And my dad always kept some beer in the refrigerator in the basement in case somebody came over. But mom and dad didn't drink.
Okay.
Okay.
So my brother, he's in the service and he's drinking.
Of
And
course.
I'm 15 years old and my big brother's drinking beer, and I'm like, can I have some of that?
Looks nice.
That looks pretty tasty.
So I got,
Shiny.
so I got some, tasted it, and
Is it
Does it taste the same?
as good as you remember, or?
amazingly, yeah, it does, because I remember going to get a McDonald's cheeseburger 20 years ago, and you get one today. They don't taste the same. The cheese
No?
is something different, and the bun's something different, and the meat's a little what? I don't know.
Not
But,
real?
They're still doing okay.
All right.
I'd say they're pretty good. I think this is the first time I've ever had one. Not too shabby.
Yeah, we like to with the beer of the week. We like to rate them. We
yeah.
got our
Oh,
own
yeah.
own little scale. We rate them off 4 different categories, which is drinkability, probability you drink the beer again, attractability, how the beer can looks, and chuggability.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd say, honestly, this is a pretty cool can. It's simple, but classic. I really like the can, honestly.
Makes me feel like I'm drinking beer on the dance machine dance floors.
By the way, the shape of the bottom of a beer can,
Yeah.
how they got one little rim, almost every beer can you look at. Well, every beer can, every company patents that shape of their can. And the reason they have that little extension on the bottom of the can is in the brewing manufacturing, it's on a conveyor belt that's hot and moving out to a cold area. So instead of moving a conveyor belt from hot to cold, which is inefficient, they have the conveyor acting like little footsteps
Okay.
walking. And so they walk the can across,
Walkie,
and
walkie.
that way the conveyor belt that's hot stays hot, that's cold stays cold, and that this is so that it doesn't affect the temperature of the liquid inside the can.
People who love beer are
Look at
serious geniuses.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
I mean,
learn something
how
new
you
every
know.
day.
Man.
The story. All
I
right.
can
Well,
drink
beer of the
beer
week.
feeling
Yeah.
a little smarter now,
Can't
Well,
you got to make sure you don't ruin the beer. That's, whatever you do, don't ruin the beer.
Yeah, just drink it.
Right, exactly.
You want to rate this thing?
Yeah,
Who
let's
wants to
get
kick us
start,
off?
start us off, Doug?
Oh,
Scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Drinkability.
well, I can't go 10 because nothing's ever perfect, but I'll give this at least a 9.6.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, that's
he
pretty good.
loves
Well,
them.
this is my old Alameda kind of thing, you know?
Nostalgic.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Nostalgic
got some
beer.
nostalgia
That's-
behind it.
It is America's beer.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well,
Carl, you want to rate her next?
Yeah, I'll rate
Go
it.
down the line, bud.
I'll give it a. I'm gonna go 7.2.
7.2.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Doug.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not
that
bad. What don't you like about it?
I mean, I feel like it's nothing too crazy. It's just, it's kind of just like drinking a Busch Light. Drinking it.
I think
just
you
a
gave
regular-
Busch Light a 10 out of 10,
Well,
though.
I mean,
so
yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta
know.
give
It's
Busch
not
Light a
adding
10 out
up.
of 10. Okay.
I don't know.
It's not my favorite, but it's still pretty good. So we'll go
Okay.
7.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
enough.
Busch Light 10 out of 10 still. I take that back. Sorry.
All right, I'll go. Let me take one more sip. Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
got to
That's
be
good
cold.
stuff. And they're ice cold. Yeah, they're ice cold. I'm gonna go. I really like these. I'm gonna go, and we don't do affordability. We do attractability now. But $17 for a 30 rack.
Not bad.
I mean,
Oh,
Busch Lights. Busch Lights $22 now. I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm gonna go 8.37.
Ooh, not bad.
8.37. That's a good score.
Yep. J-Mo?
I think I'm going closer to Doug. I mean, this is a tasty treat.
It is.
You know what I mean? I have to go 9.45.
Wow.
Whoa.
Carl,
I love me
I'm
some
sorry.
light beers.
Carl,
I was
know,
being tough.
I guess. Yeah.
I know, Carl, you prefer those microbrewery beers.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know some beer drinkers that prefer those.
Sure.
And these kinds of beers like Old Milwaukee, Hams, Strolls
Oh.
of the world.
Don't
Schlitz.
get Carl started on hams.
I do love hams. I don't know why I rated this so damn low,
Just
but
a hater.
Maybe the next score will be a little higher. But
That's
what
actually-
anyone anyone drinkability? What?
Well, I have a question.
yes.
So, would you drink this if you had Busch Light and Old Milwaukee? Which one would you drink?
Busch Light with a slice of lime. I do love that myself. I tell you
And
what.
they make they didn't have them at Walmart, but they make Old Milwaukee Light. So I don't. Maybe that'd be. These are just Old Milwaukee heavies.
heavies.
Diesel.
Yeah,
This is
heavy
some-
beer.
This gives like Budweiser vibes a little bit more than Busch Light.
Yeah,
little bit more
Budweiser. Yeah,
Budweiser,
they are.
yeah.
They do kind of taste like diesels. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you usually tell us a little history about the beer.
Oh,
I'm-
yeah,
I'm-
yeah, yeah.
I'm curious
Max,
So
about
we'll
who's
I
making Old Milwaukee.
so
Milwaukee
did skip
here's the
over that
thing,
part.
Doug. I kind of screwed it up a little bit and forgot to get into that right away. So that's my bad. So we'll rate them and then we'll do history on them.
Yep.
So yeah,
we'll fight
that's
through it.
kind of dropped the ball there. Anyway,
That's all right.
you know how it goes.
Only
I know
126
nothing.
episode
Yeah.
in. You think we'd have it figured out by
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
All right, so next is probability to drink it again. If,
Yes, sir.
you're out at a bar, you order one, you take a sip, put one down. Would you order this again?
I'd never turn one down, and I'd order one. Actually, I'm going to order another one when I'm done with this one.
Sounds like a 10 out of 10.
So yeah, what's your rating for probability you drink it again?
1 through 10. One,
10.
10.
All right.
10.
I love
All
it.
right.
I love it.
Give him 10 more.
Yeah.
10 more.
Carl, what do you got?
All right, I'm gonna be a little nice.
2 over there.
Give me an 8.8. I'll do another.
Whoa!
Trying to make up for lost
There you
time.
go.
Hey, I'll tell you what, these are very good. I'm just gonna go 9 flat. 9 flat.
Not
Love
too
it.
shabby.
Big fan.
I'll give it a
That's
9.6.
9.6. Whoa!
Wow.
Close to a 10.
Holy shame!
I
on
think
that.
they taste pretty close to Busch Light, and I love Busch Light.
So you guys, what's your 0 to 1 to 10? The chance that you'll have Old Milwaukee as your beer of the week again?
Oh
man.
Well, it might not be the beer of the week again, but we're probably gonna have the stew stocked with them now. We'll always have a. Now that go in and see Busch Light is $23, and Old Milwaukee's 17. Might become the new. Might become the new fridge staple down in the stew. I don't
tell
know.
the manager to stock our
Right,
fridge,
yeah.
Schlitz, Old Milwaukee, and Blatz. That's
Makes
what
you
we're
wonder
stacking.
what's the difference in the price? The water they use? Or
I
what?
get. Hey,
I got it.
the water in Milwaukee is pretty pure.
Pretty potent.
Yeah, right.
There you go. All right,
All right.
next.
What do we got next here?
Chuggability.
Oh, chuggability! Hell yeah!
Everyone can
Everyone,
feel free to
everyone grab
participate
your
in
beer,
this one.
Lift her up. Hey,
I mean,
that's nice.
Bye-bye.
That's not bad.
that's pretty
Goes
good.
a little
That's
too-
pretty
You
damn
get me
good.
fired up there, and then you cut the music.
Chug
out.
it.
I know. Well, we gotta save a little for the end.
Chug them a little too easily.
I was starting to tap. My, we could clear a dance floor area.
We could,
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
We could.
Did you bring one with you? I mean, these are smooth.
Very smooth. Doug, what chuggability? How easy was it?
Oh, there we go.
Was it for you to chug her down?
It's almost half gone already.
Another 10 out of 10.
Another 10 out of 10.
10.
Oh,
10s across the board.
Just run it back.
Heck, man. All right.
Carl.
Old Milwaukee.
I'm going to give it a 9.2.
Whoa!
We're bumping it up.
This
That is
guy.
nice. That's a good beer.
Doesn't like to sip them, but he likes to chug 'em.
Right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Exactly. Goes down like Milwaukee water. It's nice. It's nice.
That's what
What do you
comes
got?
out of the tap in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Old Milwaukee.
Love it.
I will go. I'll go 8.97.
All right.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
like it.
I think Old Milwaukee Brewery should know about this. Your ratings.
We should,
Oh, I think so too. I mean, they would.
they should
Sponsor
sponsor
the
us,
show.
Could be a
you know?
commercial for them. I mean, really.
That's
That's what I'm
We've
saying.
been saying that every time we do beer of the week. Every time it's like, man, this should be the commercial for that brewery.
50 beers later, yeah.
More than 150.
Well.
grimy.
Max, what do you
But
got?
I gave it an 8.97.
Oh, yeah.
It's up
And I'm
to-
going to give it a 9.31.
Whoa!
Sticking to the nines.
And
I mean, that goes
Kyle,
down
you want
pretty
Yay,
smooth.
there we go.
Here we go. Burns your tummy, don't you know? Chug a look, chug a look.
Mason.
You know, we've been-
Hey, 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 hey.
All right, we got one more.
Chug-a-lug,
One more.
chug-a-lug.
One more. Little Roger Miller.
Yeah.
Me, man, this booze side.
Chug a lug, chug a lug.
Oh. Roger Miller got him up for another one.
No, we're
good.
Well, I'm going to need another one if you're over there. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, if you're over there. No, I'm good. Okay.
I will order another one.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's my son, by the way, but we'll talk about that
Yeah.
later.
Doug Heim, everybody. Doug
Hey.
Heim.
Yeah, there's another Doug Heim here. Oh, boy.
Oh my God. It's gonna get confusing. If there are about 6 more of these beers, we're not gonna know.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, come up here, dude. Sit next to the old man. Let's
Come up
talk
here,
about
dog.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're on to what? Attractability.
Yes, last one.
Yep.
Last one.
Last.
Attractability. The look of the can. How's the can look? If you saw this walking through the store, it's just something you'd buy.
Looks like Christmas. 'Tis the season.
Yes, it does.
I like
Looks
it.
like a billboard.
Simple.
Yeah.
I like the pinstripes on them. You know, I like the. You know, I like. You know, there's
It's
not
nice.
much not to like about
Yeah,
it. You know,
looks like an old Wisconsin beer.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like a Schlitz can. What do you expect?
Yeah,
You know, this is good.
It's
not
nice.
bad.
Audience, what do you think out there? Is a can? You like the can or do you not like the can? Maybe it's too simple for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
We need to.
It's like it's got like a little vest.
To me, it kind of reminds me of a.
There's your price. They only got 2 colors, 3 colors of printing on there. I mean, how many colors are on some of those other cans? It's red and white. That's it.
That's true.
Perfect.
Simple.
That's true.
It kind of reminds me of
Uh-huh.
a Campbell's soup can.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Warm
there
cup
we
of
go.
soup
It
and a
just- it
cold.
It just doesn't have the gold little
Gold.
thing there, you know.
They can suck those down pretty good too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. What do you say, 1 through 10? What do you think about the look of this can? 10?
Oh, I would give it an 8. But
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
mean, maybe it could be improved on, but I wouldn't even know how to suggest it without giving it some thought.
Yeah.
8's fair.
Hey, it's good.
Fair
That's,
enough.
hey, that's a. I'm gonna go. Oh no, Carl. I'm sorry. My
I'll
bad.
give it an 8.3.
Oh,
I think it's a nice looking can.
Hey, it's,
Not too shabby.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna 9 flat again. I really like it. I'm a sucker for simple.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Stupid. Yes. Kiss my can. You know what I'm saying?
If you can. Yes,
If you
I
can.
can.
Yeah. Hey, don't tempt me. I'll get in there.
Where's the door to get out of here?
It's only getting weirder.
Oh, I thought we were talking about making out with a can. What are you talking about?
I
down
don't
there?
know what you're talking about, Max. I'll give it an 8.8 though.
Oh, there we go. All right, let's see what totals.
It's a damn
So
good beer.
yeah, so our total came out to an 8.78, not including Doug's 10 out of 10. So I think it's in the 9s.
Yeah, it's
up
definitely
in
into
there.
the
Too bad.
nines.
Not too bad.
That's a good score.
That
It's a
is-
good beer.
That's a great. I mean, this is a great beer. I wasn't too sure. You know, I don't. You
I
never
think
know
we'll
how
bring it
goes.
back.
Definitely gonna bring it back.
I don't know why it's not more popular than it is, but I think it's because of a generation change. Like
I don't
you-
think I
think
even.
so, too.
I don't know if I've ever seen this in like a store. To be honest, where did you get this?
Walmart.
Walmart.
I guess I have.
Out
I
in
guess
the-
I just
found
am
it
not
on-
looking for
Found
it.
it out in the road.
I'm usually going one spot, corner bush light box.
I had
all
to
right,
go
and
to
then
the
we're out.
black market.
Some guy
for
was
this one,
was broke down on the
thought-
side of the road, and
yeah.
he had a couple cases, and I just swooped up and grabbed him.
Opened up the trunk. And
Right.
like,
Oh, let me help you, bud. Oh,
Thought
lighten
maybe
your
this
load.
is the same case your brother picked that first beer out of way back.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Well, let's get
What?
into
What?
What?
What? What?
All right.
All right. Love it.
let's
talk
get
a little
into
bit
a little
about
bit of the history about the beer, huh?
Yep.
And real quick, and I dropped the ball on this the start the show, so I feel really bad. We're like we said, we're live at the Green Bay UFO Museum gift shop and records. I got finally got it right.
Nice.
And this place is like if your holidays are coming up, and if you need something like a fun, cool gift to get someone, this is the place to go to here in Green Bay. I mean, it's like one of the coolest collections of different toys, records, clothes like that you can find here in Green Bay. So it's one of the most unique places I've been to
Yes,
here in
this is
Green Bay.
awesome.
So
Super sweet. Thank you for letting us do this
Yes.
here. That's awesome.
big shout out to the Green Bay UFO Museum gift shop and records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
oh yeah.
Place is sweet.
And all right, so now let's a little bit of history about Old Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So Old Milwaukee is a brand of American dry lager owned by the Pabst Brewing Company and consists of 4 different brews: Old Milwaukee Lager, Old Milwaukee Light, Old Milwaukee Non-Alcoholic. Boo.
Why drink beer?
And Old Milwaukee Ice. Ew. Old Milwaukee is brewed throughout the U.S. and okay, don't need to worry about that. A little more history. Old Milwaukee beer was first brewed in the 1930s as a value-priced beer by the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company. But then in 1982, the Schlitz Brewing Company and Old Milwaukee brand were acquired by Stroh Brewing Company of Detroit.
Another good beer.
In 2000, Stroh's and all its beer brands and recipes were acquired by Pabst Brewing Company, where the brand currently resides. So right now, this is being brewed by Pabst. Canada is the one exception, those goddamn Canadians. In 1999, Sleeman Breweries of Goulith, Ontario, a division of Sapporo Breweries, acquired Stroh Canada, becoming the Canadian manufacturer and distributor of Old Milwaukee. So there's that. Carl, you got something about Schlitz over there,
Yeah,
huh?
Schlitz. Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company was, so this is who brewed Old Milwaukee. The first one. So
very first.
Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company was an American brewery based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and was once the largest producer of beer in the United States. Its namesake beer, Schlitz, was known as the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Schlitz.
Amen, brother.
Schlitz is good, too. I don't mind Schlitz.
That was second.
Second.
Beer we would have got. Yeah, maybe next week we'll do Schlitz.
Why not? And it was advertised with the slogan, when you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Goddamn.
Schlitz first became the largest beer producer in the U.S. in 1902 and enjoyed the status as several points during the first half of the 20th century, exchanging the title with Anheuser-Busch multiple times during the 50s.
Anheuser, you mentioned Anheuser?
Yeah.
They were a brewery in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Really?
And they were considered the beer that made Milwaukee jealous.
Really?
Okay. Oh, we got another
Careful.
taker for
There
an
we go.
old Milwaukee. Oh, dig in. We got another case in the car, so feel free.
Shit, do we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Sure do, sure do.
Came prepared. You couldn't figure everything else out, but figured the beer out. All right.
There we go.
So, yeah, a little bit about Pabst now, since that's who's currently brewing Old Milwaukee. The history of Pabst Brewing Company can be traced to 1842, when Jacob Best Jr. and his brother Charles Best immigrated to America from Mettenheim, Germany. Once they arrived in Milwaukee, they began a small vinegar works and seeing the possibilities in the fledgling frontier town. And then in 1844, Jacob Best Sr. created the brewery of Best and Company with his 4 sons, Jacob Jr., Charles, Philip, and Lorenz. Interesting. Jacob, Chuck, and Philip, and then Lorenz. It's this is why I shouldn't stop reading. Being partners in the new production in these early days consisted only of 300 barrels per annum. A-N-N-U-M. What does that mean? Anyone know what A-N-N-U-M means? I don't know. Anyway, all right, we'll move on. In 1850, Charles and Lorenz Best left the family business to start their own brewery, which they named the Plank Road Brewery and eventually became known as the Miller Brewing Company. There's a little fun fact out there. What was the name before Miller Brewing Company? Plank Road Brewery. All right, so don't forget that, everyone.
I didn't know that.
All right, again, why do I stop? Why do I... And then it was purchased by Frederick. Thanks, Shamo. Can you just keep your finger right there on the screen? Purchased by Frederick Miller. And then Jacob Best Sr., he retired in 1853. And by 1859, Philip was the sole proprietor, thus changing the name to the Philip Best Brewing Company. Best's eldest daughter, Maria, met... So then this guy, Philip Best, he had a daughter, Maria, and she met a guy named Frederick Pabst in 1860, and they married two years later. And then in 1864, Pabst purchased half interest of the brewing company for $21,000 and became vice president. Wow, what a steal!
Wow.
Jeez,
What year was that?
1864.
Oh, okay, all right.
Still a steal. Still a steal. I mean, just marry into a brewery and then let me chip a couple shillings your way and I'll get in there.
Shillings.
So that's kind of how that's how Pabst got into it in the 1864. So I mean, there's probably about another half an hour worth of history, but I don't
Welcome
think
to
we
our
need
book reading of the
Yeah.
Pabst history.
Well, regardless of all the history,
Whew.
I like beer.
I was gonna say that's- Thank God all these people, it started off as a Vinegar Works company, and then it fucking went into someone else's name, and then another I mean, jeez, people love beer, and thank God.
Yeah, and speaking of thanking God for beer, do you know that the Egyptians drank beer?
Really?
5,000 years ago, they were drinking beer, brewing it, and to this day, you guys, nobody knows who invented beer.
Wow.
Nobody knows.
Interesting. Much like you, they were very ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Somebody was out there. Beer, hell, boy!
I was like, if
Oh,
I-
I'm sorry. Did I get a little...
Man, so yeah, that's the history of old Milwaukee. I mean, now it's in Pabst, it's in the Pabst company, and they're
Damn good.
brewing it. They've got 4 different kinds. They've lager, light, non-alcoholic, and ice. So I mean, shout out to old Milwaukee,
Shout out to old
Pabst and
Milwaukee.
Schlitz.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers,
Cheers.
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 Carl, you want to play the beer of the week music?
I thought you had some trivia.
Oh, we do.
If you want to do some
Thank
trivia.
you. No, yes, let's do trivia. Thanks, Carl. You
Try not to jump the
No,
gun.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so we got some trivia that we can do with the crowd. A little trivia about beer. So let's see. Wait, is this the right one? It's not. That was Would You Rathers. That's not trivia. All right. So let's see. All right. So this is kind of going off what you just said, but
Winner
so-
of trivia gets an Old Milwaukee or a Dr. Thunder.
or a Sam's Diet Cola. You
Yep.
take your pick of the tree. Or we got Cheez-Its. We got all kinds of stuff. Anyway, a lot of archaeological evidence suggests that beer was first produced in what country and when? So we've got Germany.
Good guess.
We've got Germany in 100 BC, China 7,000 BC, or Persia. I don't see Egypt anywhere in here, so this is wrong. But yeah, Germany, China, or Persia. What do you? I don't know the answer, either,
saying-
so I'm right along. I don't know. I'm saying
Persia.
Persia?
Persia.
Persia. All right. Some people are going
If
Persia.
you get it wrong, you have to take a drink.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
yes,
come
sir.
on.
Still open. Yeah.
Welcome to the live
Welcome to the
podcast. This is Hold Us Accountable. We're doing a live podcast here, man.
Yeah. You can walk
Yeah,
around.
yeah, you
Feel
can
free, yeah.
walk around. Grab a snack. Grab a snack if you want. Anything you need, man.
They're like, what the Just trying to get a fucking vinyl, dude.
Am I really here?
Like, what?
We're gonna need to see your ID before you come.
All right.
All right, let's see the answer. Let's see. China.
China.
Hey, all right, we got a couple smarty pants. All right, I think we all have to take a drink 'cause we got
There
it
we go.
wrong.
Yeah.
Don't
Cheers,
mind
fellas.
if I do.
Made in Japan.
Made in
Japan.
Okay. All right, question number 2. During the brewing process of beer, the fermentation transforms sugar into 2 components, alcohol, and the options are carbon dioxide, malt, or nitrogen. You
Yep.
got carbon dioxide, malt. Of course, yeah, please.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
We got 30 more in the car, my friend. Now you got old Milwaukee. Have a good night.
Have a good night, man. Hell yeah,
He
dude.
just won trivia without even knowing.
Dude, yeah.
Did I just see that?
Yeah, did that just happen?
Did that just really happen?
That's awesome. I love that. That's the
Watch well, they're gonna come back
that might
with the whole
be
group. You know?
might be the coolest thing that's ever
Man,
happened.
they got
on
a
Hold Us
party
Accountable.
going down here.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you see that?
All right, so what do we got? Carbon dioxide, malt, nitrogen. What?
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry. I was baffled by it.
All right, so when beer is being brewed, the fermentation transforms sugar into 2 components: alcohol and there's carbon dioxide, malt, or nitrogen.
Carbon.
I
Carbon
think
dioxide.
carbon dioxide is pretty.
Following the crowd.
Excuse me, consensus answer there. Hey, we were all right, everyone. Since we were all right, everyone take a drink. All right. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
God, we're fucking smart as shit over here.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Which beer company made a significant contribution to the invention of a yeast strain that is currently used in many brewing products? We got Carlsberg, Budweiser,
doesn't know.
Budvar, or Heineken. Okay, I'm gonna say Heineken.
Carlsberg.
Carlsberg.
Yeah,
All
I'll go Carlsberg.
Carl going Carlsberg. Big surprise. That's Carlsberg! Yay!
I'd never heard of it.
I mean, all right.
All right, we'll do a couple more here. We won't waste too much time. We'll get a couple more. Two more?
Two more.
All right, here. This one looks kind of fun. What are the 4 main ingredients in most types of beer? We've got hops, yeast, rye, and barley, molasses, yeast, malt, and water, yeast, hops, malt, and water.
Water.
Wow. Whichever one has water in it is probably right.
Yeast, hops,
I'm gonna
malt,
go A.
and water.
A.
C. Yeah, I'm going to go C as well.
C.
Doug, what do you think? Doug?
Water.
Well, 2 of them had water.
Yeah.
Which one? We got molasses, yeast, malt, and water, or yeast, hops, malt, and water.
Hops.
Okay, we got C here. Let's see. Oh, that's right. C is right. Who said A or B is
I
wrong?
said A. I said
All
A.
right, take a drink. I'll take a drink with you. Why not?
I think I've been drinking every time.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, honestly. I mean, how else would you do it? All right, let's find a good one here.
Bob, are you ready to get another beer there? Oh, okay.
You need one?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're
Well, no,
gonna get
because
another beer,
I need one, so.
I always said I like how you say you need a beer. You don't want a beer.
Yeah.
You need a beer.
Need is much different.
We're
than
gonna have to dip into that other case in the car.
There you go.
We're already down 30 beers.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
it
good
wouldn't
episode.
be a whole
here.
episode if we weren't running through beers.
All
right, last
All right, let's
one.
do this one. Let's don't mean to be political, but who was the first U.S. president to brew beer inside the White House?
Ooh.
So we got Bill
Was
Clinton. I did not brew beer
George
in the White
Washington.
House.
George Washington.
I did not.
That's my guess.
All right, so yeah, we got. Or no, I'm sorry, we got Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Oh,
Bill Clinton, George Bush, or Barack Obama?
George W.
Barack
Bush.
Obama.
Bush?
Bush.
Obama.
You think Bush brewed Bush?
Bush.
What are the options again?
Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama.
Bush was sober, so I doubt it would have been.
Okay.
yeah.
Clinton? Barack? I
think
guess
it's Obama.
I'm going to go Obama. Obama's correct. Obama was the first. God.
What?
Now my favorite president of
Barack's Barley's.
That didn't establish it. Barack's.
Barack's
I've
Barley's.
never heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, viewers, did you have any idea that you could learn so much from HUA?
Yeah. Hey.
I didn't know we could learn so much
Yeah,
from
we're
it.
an educational show. I'm gonna spell a word later. Stay tuned.
Wait till you get your dictionary stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, my car's locked
Oh, yeah.
too. That's all right. The keys are in my backpack. We can
Okay.
we can figure that out. We'll
Yeah.
figure that out. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
no,
that's.
fine.
I mean, that's our. Hey,
Take us out.
Yeah.
All right.
Trivia. We rated it. We did trivia. We gave the history on Old Milwaukee. God damn it. That's our beer of the
That's
week.
the beer of the week.
Beer of the week. Beer of the week.
I do love beer. Put it in my belly.
Put it in my belly. Yeah,
I love beer.
Oh, yeah.
Beer is good. I love beer a lot.
Beer of the week. Beer of the week.
Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Beer of the week.
Hey. Hell
All right,
yeah.
Let's get into what we
Man.
came here for, huh?
Yeah, right?
Well, yeah, we just did the beer.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What else? Is there anything else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yeah, I
right?
think we're
That-
good.
That was
Help yourselves to
right.
snacks.
That was why we set this whole thing up for. No, the reason why we set this whole thing up was for the main man himself, Doug Heim.
Hell yeah.
And Doug, you've got a
Blame me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all his fault.
Yeah.
So, but no. So one of the reasons, the first time we kind of got introduced with Doug was from your book that you
Yep.
were writing, and that was one of our challenges. We read your book, and that
Yep.
I mean, just reading something was a challenge in
Yeah.
and of itself for
First
us.
book I read since 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's the first book I wrote since 6th grade.
You were writing in 6th grade.
No.
I was still trying to
I was
learn.
drawing pictures of wall sockets.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, so we read his book, and then we interviewed Doug, and that was another kind of challenge for us. Was not only reading And then
Sounds so bad.
Yeah. It was.
it was. Let's be
Sad as
to
it
read
is,
to
yeah.
read a book.
It took us a long time.
Yeah, I still don't think Shamo's read the full book. Honestly, I think he's still working on it.
I
But
struggle with words, okay?
But it was an interesting. The book was. It wasn't
is a
just
good book.
reading a book. Yeah, it was stories, and
Yeah.
it was grabbed your attention, and it was
Yeah.
reeled us into kind of your mind and how it all came about.
yeah, so we had him on. We interviewed him, and now Doug has his own podcast coming up.
Yep.
And Doug, I mean, tell us a little bit about your podcast and what you're doing with it.
Yeah, well, that's the reason I got a hold of you guys. You guys, like I said earlier, did 71 episodes since I last was on.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I peek and watch your casts. And I got, after being on your cast, I got this idea of what should I do with all this footage I've been digitizing.
Right,
All this
okay.
old analog nostalgic stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've been storing it and hauling it with me and all these years, and now I've got some time to do something with it, and I don't know what that is, but I was inspired by being on your podcast, and I thought, well, why don't I do that?
Yeah,
and I can
awesome.
release it that way. But I also, if you notice when I pitched this program, is I look for everybody else's input. You know, I want to know your suggestions, your requests, your ideas, anything that you have that I can make the show better. So I'm already in the can of the first 2 episodes. The one that's
Okay.
going to be released on December 1st is in the can. It's done.
Awesome.
And also the one, episode 2 is also done. And I hope to release that on January 1st, and then release one every first of the month.
Okay. Once a
And-
month dropping them.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for, but I have to keep this fun. I don't want to make it become a job.
Right. Yep.
If it becomes a job, I won't do it. That's number one. And number two, I want to see if there's really an audience out there, because that will motivate me to keep doing it.
Sure,
If
okay.
I don't have an audience out there, where's the motivation?
Right.
So.
'Cause, yeah.
So I'm swinging the bat. I've got all this stuff. I'm going to launch a podcast on YouTube and roll the dice. And I'll tell you, all the response I've seen so far is 100% positive. Nobody's
Awesome.
saying, you suck,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, how could they? I mean, that'd be
I don't
ridiculous.
know. Well, I've had people
If
do
they
thumbs
say
down
that-
on videos, so
If they would have said that, they need to put a couple old Milwaukees in their head.
Yeah, there you
Get
go.
them thinking straight.
So were
Damn
your
it.
first 2 episodes, recording them, producing them, editing them, was it a good experience? The first, I know it was time consuming. You kind of explained to us last night the way you go about it, and it's, I mean, that's
Do you
not
have-
even close to what we do. But
Before I do that to your audience out there, or for your audience, to them or for them, I think you should play a portion of the promo, just the part
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
I introduce the video, because
Definitely.
then I can point something out
Okay.
that's kind of unique. So
Sure.
I'll let you guys take control there.
Yeah, and while Shamo's pulling this up, how can people find you on YouTube? Do they just search Doug Heim? Do they search TJ and the Ant?
Well, I'm no expert on that, but my guess would be, the way I've been finding it, is just type in TJ and the Ant
Okay.
or Doug Heim.
Okay.
But TJ and the Ant seems to be the way to go, because I don't know how I did it, but early on I've got like 2 YouTube channels.
Okay.
One's got a lot of my other stuff, and then there's another one with some other stuff, and so I had to pick one of the 2, and
Sure.
so there it is. So anyway, YouTube. Go to YouTube,
YouTube.
type in TJ and the Ant. TJ
All right.
and the ANT.
All right, we're gonna play a clip here.
Yep.
And we're gonna connect to the television so the audience can
Electronic
see.
genius guy.
yeah,
If you're
don't
watching
know
on
about that.
if you're watching on YouTube or if you're on Twitch on the live stream, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the clips, but we'll probably be able to edit it in after.
Okay.
We'll put the clips in after.
Yeah. Yep.
So Twitch live streamers, sorry, you should have been here
Yeah.
tonight. That's your fault.
Yeah.
Or just watch it on YouTube and we'll edit the video.
internet crowd.
Yeah. Well, we're like double live. We're virtually live on Twitch, and then we're live in person in the hallowed grounds of the Green Bay UFO Museum Record and Gift Shop. Oh no, I flip-flopped it. I flip-flopped it. Damn it! I gotta put it 3 in a row one of these times. Right, how we looking there?
Unplug
Plug it back in. You know the old.
The classic.
Give it a. Like it's a Nintendo 64 cartridge.
I don't think, but when Doug was on, we weren't live.
No, we weren't live on Twitch then.
No, that was all pre-recorded.
Yep. So.
Yep. I still think to this day it's our biggest YouTube.
Hello, I'm Doug Heim. Old and gray, but it's still me. For those of you that don't know or remember me, back in 1971, I started my 40-year career in broadcasting at WLUK TV 11 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. In 1977, I created Wisconsin's first all-night television show named TJ and the Ant. It stood for Television Jockey in the All-Night Theater. There's a brand new Ant coming, and this time it doesn't stand for all-night theater. I'll tell you more in a moment. Throughout that 40-year career, I've rescued a huge collection of films and videotapes from the trash bin. And they're all packed full of Green Bay and northeastern Wisconsin radio and television history. And that's why I concocted all of this. I call it my way back time machine. And welcome to my hidden underground ant cave, where I've been transferring old analog stuff to digital. As I was transferring everything, it dawned on me, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Well, you're looking at it. Put it on YouTube. You're not going to believe some of the stuff I've found. You're about to see snippets of historic TV shows, commercials, promos, newscasts, telethons, and even a movie. Some of this stuff goes as far back as the 1960s. And what you're about to see in the next 4 minutes is going to be absolutely amazing. You may want to fasten your seatbelt.
Let's take a look here, what I mean.
All right. So, I mean, it's awesome. Love the ant cave.
Yeah.
The setup there. I mean,
Clock behind you.
and the clock. It's always on time.
Well, here's a story about the clock. I know I told you guys about this last night when we met for a preliminary meeting for this.
Y'all should have been there. It was great.
We, I shot all of these segments and didn't realize that the clock behind me was running. And you have to understand that when you see me on camera, I look like I'm looking at one camera, then I cut and look to another camera. Well, I only have one camera. So how do I make it look like I have two cameras? Well, I took scene 1, scene 3, scene 5, 7, 9, and did them all to the one camera. And then I moved the other camera to another position, and then I did scenes 2, 4, 6, and 8, and so forth. And as I did each scene, I had to know if I'm done talking to turn to that camera, when I'm done talking to that camera, turn to the other one, or if I'm not going to turn to another camera, turn to doing something else. Well, as I was doing and producing all of this, I put it all together in the timeline and edited it, and it looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But then I noticed the clock in the background was all over the place. So I thought, well, maybe it'd be kind of cool because I call this my way back time machine. So maybe the clock being all over the place might be kind of cool. So I thought I'll go with it. So I edited the program together, and I did the promo that you're watching, and I did the entire first episode, the whole thing. And I showed it to my wife, and she's my first audience to, make sure I'm not making myself look stupid in the world. So she filters everything for me. And she looked at it, and about 15 seconds in, she goes, pause. She goes, did you notice the clock in the... Oh, boy. That's when I knew, okay, I got to redo this. I got to figure something else out. And I thought about the easiest thing to do, like you say, keep it simple, stupid. I thought, remove the clock. What fun would that be?
Right.
I thought I want to keep that clock in there, and so I went through my script, and at this point it will be about 1 minute in, we'll be about 3 minutes in. After I play this 3-minute video, we'll be 8 minutes in, and so I put on the script what time the clock should be set at. So every time I did a take, I took the battery out of the clock and I set the clock to whatever time it's supposed to be, and I start the show. If you notice in the beginning of this, all the shows with the clock in the background will always be at 12 o'clock. There's midnight, and then 15 minutes in, the clock will correspond to how deep we are into the program. But anyway, yeah, that was a challenge.
Did it take you 10 hours to edit? How long did it take you to edit all this with everything?
Well, the cool thing about the program is a lot of the stuff is just me doing an introduction, and then let a video rip for 6 minutes, and then I come back on and do an introduction. It's kind of like what TJ and the Ant was, where I would introduce the program and talk a little bit about what you're about to watch, and that's exactly what I do here. Everything you see, I will buffer you a little bit of history. I'll bring up some people's names that were involved in the projects and so forth. And so that when you're not just going to be watching old history TV footage, but you're also I'll share with you some behind the scenes information. One of them is the TJ and the Ant commercial. I think I was telling you guys about. It was done by Don Shunky, but I'd talk about that after we can play that clip if it's possible. But that's on episode 1.
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and play that one right now?
Episode here, I actually have a list here of everything I cover.
Get beer cans out of here.
On episode 1. The program is going to cover all the original TJ and the Ant opens.
Promos and the theme song, and I'll explain the history behind that. Another thing I'll have on is the original TJ and the Ant. We used to have a mystery picture, which we would zoom in real tight on something, and you would have to guess what it is, and throughout the show we'd zoom out a little bit and give you clues of what it might be. We're going to do that here tonight.
Yes, I can't wait.
I brought and by the way, these mystery pictures were taken in 1978. These are the original ones, and so that may make it a little more difficult to guess what it is because it's not something, current.
Dinosaur.
And then, I got some great footage from a former news director from WBAY TV. He was a news director in the 1960s, and he provided me some footage of the studios. Pretty interesting, fun stuff to look at. And TV11 WLUK, by the way, was the very first TV station in this market, and maybe in the state, I don't know, but they were the first station to put up what they call a weather radar. And they put a tower right next to the studio, and I happened to find the footage that they were filming while they put that tower up. And when I found the footage, it was all on a one reel and not in sequential order. Every scene needed to be color corrected and so forth and edited. And that's one of the features that I'll have on the first episode.
Okay.
Viper radar?
I don't know. From what I understand, that radar, the very first one that TV11 put up on top of that tower, actually came from a battleship or something. It was a military radar.
That's pretty cool.
I remember it. I think it was called the Viper.
Yeah, I think, yes. I have to agree with you. I think you're right. It was called the Viper, yes.
Sounds like it comes from a battleship.
Now, this is going way back to 1972. TV11 had launched this campaign called Closer to Your World. And they took a helicopter and they flew all over northeastern Wisconsin, and they put this footage together to this theme music. And according to Pat Crollo, who was passed recently from TV11, he was one of the photographers, and he told me when he gave me the material to recreate these promos that that was the most successful campaign that TV11 had ever had in their history.
Awesome.
And then finally, I'm going to, at the end of the show, play it. Actually, a half hour of the show at the end is a rerun of an old Riverside Presents Ballroom polka show.
Okay.
And
very cool.
It's uncut. It's the way it aired back in the day. And then episode 2, I just want to go over that real quick. I talk about my that clip about my pirate radio station.
Okay.
And I go a little into that. And then I will for those of you that like TJ and the Ant history stuff, I'm going to show you live performances that came to our studio in the mid-morning. Like, keep in mind, I was on all night, and many times at a bar close, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, bar rush,
Oh
you know,
my
call
God.
it whatever you want, I would get these performers who were performing in a bar that night and call up and say, yeah, I've been drinking, but hey, you want to come over and be on
Hey,
the show?
Doug.
And I'd
Hey,
always say,
Doug.
come on down. We turn the studio lights on. They come in, and I had bands on. I had all kinds of performers. And we even tried to create the world's tallest ice cream cone and break the Guinness Book of World Record.
What?
You'll see all of that. And one of my favorites, I was talking to, in the audience, by the way, I got to say, I see my one of my neighbors I grew up with all my life is here. A guy I've never met before till tonight was watched the show faithfully, and I'd like to get some comments from you guys. My son is here tonight with his girlfriend, and a colleague of mine that worked with me during the dance machine years. He's here tonight, so I'm so pleased to see all you guys come out here tonight.
That's
So,
awesome.
And actually,
so
I-
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I took an Uber here, and on my way, I was kind of telling the Uber driver about the show, what we were doing. I told him, yeah, we have this guy on the show. He used to have this show called TJ and the Ant, and he goes, oh, yeah, I used to work for the dance machine for Doug Heim, actually. So, yeah, small world.
Pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Green Bay, small town.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, though. There was one day that I was at my studios, and there was a guy that was in the building, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't recognize him, and I said, can I help you? He goes, I work here. So, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into which clip again? The episode. What was the clip you wanted to watch?
Oh,
First one.
Let's see. Well, the promo for
Do you
want
want to finish up the promo?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other promo. I mean, there's it's
for
episode, it would
the
be
first
episode 1.
TJ and the Ant.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be episode 1,
Yeah.
and I'm going to guesstimate somewhere around 10 minutes into the program.
Okay.
It's the one where they say, go home, Dougie.
Go home, Dougie. Is it the Ant first commercial?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. No. Yeah.
Yes,
yes,
no,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, yeah, no.
Oh, we have to do something real quick.
Oh. The old 64, Nintendo 64 reset.
You guys do realize you're pioneers right now doing this kind of stuff. This is
I appreciate that, Doug, so much.
10 years from now, this is going to be a common thing.
Why is this man staying up all night every Friday night? Go home, Dougie! In response to TJ and the Ant, TV11's assistant chief engineer had this to say: That Dadburn boys can blow up all them tubes! One viewer's response to this 7-hour television marathon: Egads, that boy has heart! Don't spend your Friday nights watching the lawn get dewy. Watch TJ in the all-night theater. Old-time movies, comedy shows, and delightful conversation. Fridays from midnight to sunrise on TV11.
I got a stutter back.
He sense corrected it. And,
Well, you know,
oh, he's back. Oh, no.
Oh.
I talked about
The old Milwaukee. He stopped drinking old Milwaukees. The stutter went away. He starts drinking old Milwaukees and he comes back.
maybe that monitor needs some old Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
so
So when did this first air? So this is TJ and the Ant's first TV commercial. This came on the air when?
Okay. The story behind the commercial, I went on the air in May 6, 1977. It was a Friday night, obviously. And and from the recording of that show, that's me there, that very first show, and they made a TV commercial to promote the program. That's all it was. But the unique thing about it is the person that produced that commercial is
He worked at TV11
Great
as the creative director at the time, and he had an idea for a late-night TV show that
Okay.
I was totally unaware of. I didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
And so with me not knowing that, I went to the general manager of the TV station at the time. His name was Tom Hutchinson. and his family's
Who's that
are here tonight.
Who?
Yeah, his family's here tonight.
Right, yeah. I don't know that guy.
And I was scared to death of him, by the way. He was the boss, you know.
Yeah.
He
At
was
the time,
He is the manager.
He kind of made me think of on George Jetson. What was that boss on George Jetson? Mr. Spacely or something?
You might have to talk to the audience for this one.
Well, he was my Mr. Spacely. He was
Okay.
He was the god of the TV station, and I went scared to death to talk to him. But I sat down, and he was in that big chair. Remember that big chair he had?
Yeah. Okay.
And I was in that big desk, and I'm sitting in that chair, and you sink down. It's
He
like,
knew
well,
the power moves back then, yeah.
I told him my idea about doing an all-night TV show, and prior to that, I had asked, why aren't we on the air all night? And the answer I got is because it costs too much, and there's nobody that's going to be watching. There's nobody who's going to buy commercial time. TV stations are supposed to be constantly making money.
Right.
So if I'm on the air all night, there's not money making. It's just having fun, and you can't do that.
Right. Okay.
So, Tom, I told him my idea, and what my idea was is after finding out that we can't stay on all night because it costs too much money for the electric bill, I found out that in 60 seconds, a TV station's electric bill, drawing 360,000 watts, can draw as much power that your whole house would draw in an hour. Just incredible amount of power being to run a TV station. So I thought, okay, I figure one way to overcome that problem. Then second, we got to get someone to do it. Pay somebody. So I solved all the problems. I went to Tom and I said, I'll do it for free. Let me do the TV show. I'll stay on the air all night. You don't have to pay me anything, and I'll pay the electric bill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did. I told him I'll pay the electric bill. And I thought, how am I going to do that? I'll sell commercials. I'll sell the airtime, and I'll make my money by... So it's like I'm stealing this TV station.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Well, Tom was intrigued. And,
Okay.
and then he got back to me several months later, and I know that it was after he met with the owners of the TV station.
Sure.
And he came back and he said, Doug, we want to give your show a try. Only for 4 weeks. He said, but we're going to do it our way. You're going to get paid, and you're going to, do it the way they told me to do it. So I did. But now, this commercial you just saw that was produced right after that was produced by, I told you, a man named Don Shunke. Well, Don was the creative director, and he had an idea for a late night show before I went and interrupted and unbeknownst talked to Tom, and Tom put my show on the air, and we went on the air. We know the rest is history. But what you don't know is Don Shunke wasn't real happy about the all-night theater because he had a show he was working on to launch, and that show was called Ned the Dead.
Okay.
And so
I feel like I've heard of
it didn't happen, and then after the all-night theater ended, and somebody asked me why did the all-night theater come to an end, bottom line, we were on an ABC affiliate, and the ABC television network at that time decided to go all night with a newscast, all-night news, from midnight to whatever.
Sure.
And but Tom offered me to continue to do the all-night theater on Saturdays, but I couldn't because at that time I had a booming business, mobile DJ business.
Sure, yeah.
And I was demanded on Saturday nights because I was a celebrity, and people were people were paying extra money to make sure that I was the DJ. Yes.
Yeah.
So for like us young folks that probably don't know what Ned the Dead is that like a cartoon? Was it like more an older style reality TV? Like what kind of show was that?
The all-night theater?
Ned's
Ned the
dead.
Dead.
Yeah,
Ned's
Ned's
Dead.
dead.
Oh, the Ned the Dead? Well, I didn't know anything about Ned the Dead. I found this all out later. I mean, TJ and the Ant was on the air, and Ned the Dead was non-existent, but it was an idea in Don's head. After I left the air and was not on the air anymore, Steve Brenzel himself told me that I left a void, and he stepped in to fill it, and he took Don Shunke's idea, and now he's, the rest of the story. But after the all-night theater, I was, I left TV 11 about within a year after that, and I went to go work for Tom Hutchinson again because he left the
Right.
station as well and started up the home video shopper.
Yep,
which,
HVS.
which,
Right.
yeah, which by the way, you got to know is so ahead of its time because that was years, literally 5 years before CVS and home shopping networks. Tom came up with an idea of having commercials on 24 hours a day. Well, who's going to watch that? Well, we all know the answer now,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you know,
So how long was TJ and the Ant? How long did that run for? How long?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Wow.
Okay.
Just shy of 4 years and 10 months.
And now-
every Friday night, midnight.
Yes, it was Friday, just shortly before midnight, and we would wrap up at 7 o'clock in the morning when ABC would go to the morning Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite episode, like a favorite performer that came on that you remember?
Well, G.I. Joe band.
G.I. Joe band.
Yeah,
G.I. Joe
they were the
band.
coolest thing I on the show. I mean, we had a lot of really wonderful things. I mean, some of the stuff I don't have copies or videotapes of anymore, but a lot of stuff I do. And I also got to warn you, when you watch some of these clips, I couldn't throw anything in the trash bin.
Yeah.
There were some clips that are incomplete.
Okay.
You know, but I'm going to play them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a part of the show and something that we want to get out to the people and show. Like, so so your podcast, your YouTube channel, it's basically just reinvigorating TJ and the Ant and starting it back up a little bit. That's kind of what I'm just putting it in a not doing the same thing, but not introducing, but what am I trying to say here? Relaunching the old show and kind of revisiting
Reliving
it and saying like, this is what I was doing back then. Here's some clips of what was going on.
I guess it's that simple. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it's not anything more than that. I got like I say, I've got all this stuff, and I don't want to make it all about me. And you'll see in the first episode that I clearly give credit to everybody that was creators of the things that I am showing. It's like just a lot of stuff I did create and is my part of my program, but and that's also another thing. When I play these episodes, it's not going to be just TJ and the Ant or just Barney's Clubhouse Pow or just the Dance Machine,
Okay.
or just commercials or old newscasts. It's
a
going to
mix
be
of
a
everything.
mix of stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
Let's give them a mystery picture.
Yeah, let's get into.
That's on that little thumb drive.
Yeah,
gave
I
you.
got it.
So can you?
Is it the one you told us about on our podcast?
Yeah, he's lying. I didn't tell anybody anything.
All right.
So can you reset the mystery picture for the like retell the story of the mystery picture a little bit?
I know which one you want to.
No,
talk
not
about.
that one. I just in general. We talked about it, but just in general, what was like the inspiration for? I mean, I think it's a really fun idea that.
I'll tell you exactly where the inspiration was. Green Bay Press Gazette.
Okay.
They used to have a picture they would put in a paper of a zoom in of something, and then another paper later or two, they would show you the answer to what that was a picture of.
Okay.
And that's where the light bulb went off. And so what I started doing on the show is I take the studio camera, which could zoom in on stuff, and I'd bring things to work with me. I'd bring utensils or tools or things I could find from home, bring them and put the camera and zoom in real tight.
Okay.
And then zoom out a little bit and let people guess. And we actually had sponsors that gave us awards to give to people. So.
Oh wow! Nice. All right. So this is one of the pictures we right here. Right?
Did I get the right one?
Well, yeah, because
Who said what?
Is that the picture?
You stumped yourself, Doug.
Yes. I had to think for a second. I'm going, I don't recognize
like, what is that?
Yeah, I know what it is.
So what do we want to? Should we guess a little bit here?
Yeah,
No, this
anybody
is
guess what that is?
Yeah,
this is from 1972. Is that what I heard you?
I think
from
it's
before?
important to point that out. All the mystery pictures that I'm showing are pictures that I salvaged from 1978.
Okay.
So this is an object of something that existed in 1978. It doesn't mean that they don't exist today, but that makes it a little more challenging.
It's like a piece of salami stuck to the wall. What?
I'm gonna say a
What'd you say?
stapler.
Stapler? Harmonica? Oh.
Me? No, I haven't.
I'm not gonna guess because I know what some of these are.
Well,
What is
as we
that?
continue here later on, we'll show you. We'll zoom out a little bit, and I'll give you some clues.
I'll keep it up there for now.
Yeah, keep it.
before we move on to the next.
I can't believe for a second I forgot what it was.
I'm just gonna be staring at that
Hey,
thing.
trust
the whole
me, it'll happen
episode.
more as you get older.
Yeah.
Let me, what was I talking about?
What?
What?
What? TJ,
Huh?
who?
What?
What about an ant?
What?
Got ants in here? Jesus Christ.
Max, what do you think that is?
I don't like something.
So we got
metal, like a
Yes.
key or something,
Yes.
or like
yes.
a
There's
like
metal definitely involved.
a hinge.
Right.
Oh, that's a good guess.
I'm thinking a stapler.
He said a hinge to like a door hinge.
Oh, good
That's
guess.
That's a
not right though.
great guess. Yeah, I don't know, some type of like what yeah, something metal.
A hole
Hole
punch.
punch. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Are clues allowed?
Oh,
This
Well,
is
we're-
the clue.
Yeah, this is the clue. What are you talking- Look at it.
That's the first clue. Yeah, I'll give you clues after a while.
So we got another picture later on, and it zooms out just
Yeah.
a little bit further.
There's
Right?
I gave it to you in a way that you
Yeah.
you can't find it unless you dig.
I know.
deep.
I started to dig, and I stopped before I got to the answer. so.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. A door hinge is a great guess. I would have.
I recall from way back. These are really zoomed in on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's
Like microscopic.
But I thought hinges like now it's going to be way out because that hole in reality is probably just really
A tiny
Like a
pinhole.
pinprick. Huh? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Huh. Well, it'll be a mystery.
crap. I never would have thought it would have been yet.
It's definitely a mystery, that's for sure. All right.
like a button on a jacket or like
Oh, like a zipper or something, like a. I don't know. That's a man. A key? Something. I don't know. What? Well,
So through the show when you do this, would you'd show it, and then later on in the show you'd show it a little more zoomed out,
Okay.
Yep.
and then at the end of the show
Gave you the answer.
gave you the answer.
And
Or if someone would call in and guess it, then we would say, we've got a winner and here's the answer.
would a winner get? Did you have prizes or
he
anything?
got what the picture
You
was.
got.
Yeah. Actually, for a while, this is going to sound kind of funny, but I actually had a lot of coupons from McDonald's for free hamburgers or free lunches, whatever left over from the Barney Clubhouse days, because that was what they gave as a consolation prize to kids that played Barney's Clubhouse POW. And I had a whole bunch of these leftover coupons, so I used those to
Give out
give out to the
prizes?
winners.
Okay.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
But then after a while, just like your show, things catch on and people start sponsoring you. It's
Well, we don't
So
know
if
about
someone-
that. That's
so
not
during the
much like our
if,
show.
If someone would call and guess it right away,
Nothing's
would
been
you give it
sponsored
away,
yet.
or would you let it? If someone called, guessed it right away, would you tell them they were right, or would you? Okay.
Yeah. There actually was one time that we put it on and someone guessed it immediately. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that.
To me, I look at the only thing I can see is a piece of salami, like stuck, thrown,
You're
like summer sausage.
You're just stuck on this salami thing.
That's what it looks like. A slice of summer sausage just chucked at a wall.
Carl's brain is never off meat.
I
Let
agree.
me tell you what.
I never thought of it that way, but I agree with you.
A belt?
Oh, belt. Oh,
A belt?
A belt.
It's a good.
Great guess. Wrong.
Oh.
So you're eventually gonna let us see a little bit more?
Yeah, well, we're
Yeah, we'll zoom out a little more in a little bit.
in a little bit. So, all right.
you
So
got?
that's the mystery picture. What else? What else did you want to get into after? Like, did you want to go to another clip? We can. Well, I guess we got to wait till the IT man is back to get into another clip, or we can take audience
Hey,
Q&A. What? Anything in particular? Otherwise, we can just wing it.
Well, one of the things I'm going to mention at the very end of the first episode that's going to be released on December, at the very end of the show, I forgot what I was going to say.
Something
Something at the very end of the show.
Yeah, how many?
How long are the episodes going to be?
Oh, good question. I'm going to try to keep each cast about an hour long. The first one is a little over an hour, episode 1, and episode 2 is about 50 minutes, 50 minutes.
Okay. And how many do you already have done? Just the first 2?
I have episode 1 and 2 in the can, and I don't know if I mentioned this on the show earlier, but I know I told you guys that this whole thing's an experiment for me, because all these years I've been saving all this stuff and keeping it in storage, and now it's being digitized. What do you do with it? So your podcast, like I said earlier, influenced me, and I'm going to release it, and I'm ready. I'm already working on episode 3 and 4.
Okay.
And that just reminded me of what I want to mention about what I mentioned at the end of 1, is that in future episodes I am going to expose how Barney the puppet actually worked.
Okay.
And I'm going to go into details, everything you've ever wanted to know, because I've had a lot of people ask me, can you tell me? And I signed a contract originally when I took on that job that I could never, for my rest of my life, share with anybody how that puppet works, because and the reason is because of its simplicity. It's a mechanical puppet.
Okay.
And it's a hell of an invention, this puppet, but no one has seen Barney the way he really is, and I'm going to show that. And in my book, if you read my book, I mentioned Barney, and one of the things I do give up is that when you see Barney on TV, the real puppet is actually a complete negative of that puppet.
Okay, so
he's actually, Barney's actually black. He's not white. And his whiskers aren't black; they're white. That kind of thing.
Okay. One of my.
Barney come to be? I don't remember.
When did Barney go on the air? 1980.
1980.
Yeah, and also they did a CP telethon, and Barney was the celebrity at the Fishbowl, and they set up a TV set, and little kids could go up to the Fishbowl, and Barney was looking down at the kids from the TV screen, looking down, going, "Hi, how you doing?" And the little girl, she's wearing a red dress, that Barney would say, "Hi, how you got a pretty red dress there. That looks really nice," And
still got it.
But during that broadcast, they were using the TV11 remote truck at a remote location and doing Barney. And just like you guys with this setup being remote, it was very complex to be able to take Barney out on the road, because I had to be inside of an enclosed booth where no one could see me, and a camera pointing down at Barney on this table in front of me, and then I have to be able to see the kids talking to Barney so I can respond and know what to say and do back. And so it was very complex stuff.
One of my favorite videos, I think, that we watched on the podcast episode 52 when you were last on with us was when Barney was talking to the guy who he was taking over's spot on TV.
Yeah.
It was one of the funniest. I mean, just knowing a little bit of the story behind it. Oh, man. The guy was not very happy that Barney was coming on. He wasn't happy a mechanical puppet was coming to take his job.
You guys can use foul language, but I'll tell you, Jerry didn't like Barney.
No, you could feel the vitriol.
He said
had
something
for Barney.
to the effect, "I'd like to strangle that little."
Do you have any clips of Barney on this drive?
Yeah, actually, I have one to show you right now, because I'm going to, in my mission to share with you how Barney really worked, I'm going to point out something that people probably didn't pay attention to. And one thing, just one little thing. And I'm not going to give anything away tonight, but...
And it's at the end of episode 1, you were saying?
It's at... Barney's Clubhouse Powers, episode 2.
Episode 2. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna pull up that clip. We just got to get.
Oh, actually, no. I got a clip for you on the that little thumb drive I gave you.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Just go to that one, and you'll see.
There he is.
Barney.
All right. Before I do this,
yeah, it's real.
All right. Yeah. Spinning.
Okay. Here's the thing I want you to know.
No.
How many of you are familiar with the Barney Clubhouse Power anyway?
My brother was a contestant on it once.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, notice he's either got one finger up, he's holding a phone, or he's holding a piece of paper,
Okay.
or nothing.
Or nothing.
Okay? Here's the key. Is Barney right or left-handed?
Oh, well, it's probably flipped, right? So in the show,
There's so
on
much,
TV,
there's so much stuff that I will
So on
be happy
TV,
to
he's-
share with you about this.
So on TV, he's left-handed.
I guess that depends. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
No,
Because
I'm
you were
right.
controlling them, huh?
Okay,
So-
now you're asking the right question.
So
Because I'm right-handed, he's left-handed.
right.
And there's a little
Yeah,
more
yeah.
information.
So how does that work? Like,
That's what he can't.
Can't tell you.
That's what he can't tell us.
He can't tell us until we
And that's what. But he will keep hinting at it throughout his podcast and YouTube channel. So if you want to figure it out, watch his YouTube channel.
oh, I definitely.
How many markets was that technology used? Because it wasn't just in Green Bay.
No, yes, this cartoon type of thing was not unique to just Green Bay, Wisconsin, but however was unique to Wisconsin. But yes, when in my training and part of my training to run the puppet look at me, I'm already running it.
Yeah.
For my training to operate the puppet, I had to go to New York and I met the inventor. I met the people who actually made the puppet, and I auditioned. I did my voice, and my first voice, which you talk about with Jerry.
Okay.
Jerry's voice, or Barney's voice, is more like Cream at the Flock.
That's right.
My voice
yeah.
is kind of cocky, like, yeah. How you doing, Jerry? Yeah, well, clubhouse pal. But eventually, the voice is more like, yeah, how you doing? And the only reason is because it was harder in my throat to do the her, and this is easier. So that's why I went with the squeaky, obnoxious little Barney voice.
Showbiz. That's really cool. That's very interesting.
So what all went into
Left-handed on
going
the
to New York?
Looks like
What
he's
was
right-handed,
training
but-
for Barney? How did that?
Well, after my training, they sent me to to answer your question, Dan, they sent me to a TV station in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. And they already had a Barney too, and there was a fellow there. Had already been doing the thing, so I got to meet with him and watch him do his spiel and learn from that. And then I had to go back to Green Bay, and it's hard to explain this because after I came back to Green Bay, I got this puppet inside of a suitcase. I got this table that he's supposed to be set up on, and I'm on my own. I got to now tell the TV station what they got to do to be able to do this. I can't let anybody see the puppet. I can't, I put them on the table and set them up while I'm operating. Even the guys that set the cameras up for the TV station are not allowed to see the puppet. It was top secret, and that's why I'm kind of excited now to
I was going to say
breach my contract and share it with the world.
I was going to say, is it time to breach it? Can you?
These puppets are obsolete.
Yeah.
The company's all gone. No one's going to sue me. So
hopefully.
But I'm a good guy. I keep my mouth shut. But I decided, it's time.
Yeah.
Reveal the secret.
Yeah.
So your first show with Barney, the first time introducing him actually on TV, was it a success? Did it go smooth, or was there a lot of bumps in the road trying to operate everything with how kind of abstract it was?
Anybody starts anything, it never goes smoothly. You're always going to have some bumps in the road.
Yeah.
But overall, no, it was pretty smooth. I mean, I knew how the puppet worked. I practiced the puppet when I first got it at home in my bedroom because it was the only place safe I could set it up and go and see it.
TMI.
I'm just practicing the puppet, Mom.
Get out, Mom.
What's your puppet's name?
You're not allowed to see this.
Barney.
Another beer?
Yeah, anyone else need a beer?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing okay. Need one, Doug?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
Sure.
So Barney was at where is Barney now? Do you still have?
Oh no, TV 11 paid like $50,000 a year to license the rights to
Holy
that
shit.
puppet.
Whoa.
And $50,000 back in 1980 was muckle bucks. I mean, you could buy a couple houses back then for that much.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the reason why the show eventually got axed, because it was on the air for 1 year, and when it went off the air, it was the #1 show on at that time slot. It beat all the other TV stations.
Why did it get taken off the air?
Because of the expenses?
Money. Money.
Even though it was
was that our grandpa who was like,
what
hey,
doesn't have anything to do with the money?
Everything's
money.
Money
for a puppet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean, again, ahead of its time. I mean, it was because that's almost like the first animation on television, live animation. Yeah, it's like the first.
It's not animation. That's
Right.
the
It's
key
real.
thing about it. Was like until they invented this puppet. That's why this puppet was actually revolutionary at the time.
Mhm.
And the video game, by the way, was revolutionary.
Oh,
This was
yeah.
before. This was a couple of years before Atari and home video games. They didn't exist yet. This is the first interactive video game, and you could play it live on television. So that was groundbreaking by itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second thing that was groundbreaking was that Barney looked. Prior to Barney, you had to animate frame by frame.
Yeah.
This is the first thing. How do you make a cartoon live, instant, respond? That was the cool thing about.
And I don't even think I mean, I don't think anyone does that. Like a live animated.
Well, maybe with computer technology,
Well, yeah,
I have
but
to believe you do. You can, but I don't.
But
know.
I haven't. I mean, unless they do, they're just pulling up like graphics, on like a news state, pulling, whatever. But not like a live interaction cartoon or
So was
animate
Barney
whatever,
Was this noticed like out of Wisconsin, like your show, like maybe by other media places in other states?
Well, I wouldn't know that. I at that time I
guess it
didn't. You got to understand that at that time I was working so much. I was doing the Barney thing in the afternoon, and then I had to come back late at night and do the late night movie. They did a thing called TJ Theater, because TJ and the Ant was so popular that Tom Hutchinson wanted it to be on every night of the week, and so. He pretty much told me, I'm going to be on Monday through Thursday. Just come on at midnight, introduce a movie, and do my spiel I do during the breaks, and wrap it up at the end and sign the TV station off. I did that Monday through Thursday. Friday nights, I worked all night. Fridays, I had DJ crews with my dance machine business, traveling all over the state doing jobs. Saturday nights, I was out doing jobs. Sunday nights, I was out doing jobs. Monday, back to the routine.
Oh, my
And no wonder my wife divorced me.
So on top of doing when you were working all night, were you also then during the day had your day working for the TV station? Did you have another job, like, because you had so many roles at the TV station? You were very, valuable, just technically setting up. You built the whole like a TV program station room or what? Were you also doing other things during the day after you'd wrap up your night, or did you have any breaks at all?
No, I was go all the time.
Good.
And my son's like that now. Go all the time, and he's talking about the biggest problems when you own your own business is finding good help, and it's tough out there. It sounds like great to have your own job. What's great about it is being your own boss. That's the good part of it.
Right.
But boy, when you need help, that's the hardest thing to find.
Okay. Yeah.
Still have a boss. Your customers are your boss, and they can fire you for no reason at all.
Hey, yeah. Customers are always right, I guess.
So was there something that,
unfortunately, yeah,
something that inspired you down this path, like the kind of media performance kind of business? Like, because if people didn't know, you had your own radio station in your basement. You had a damn radio tower on top of your house, and we're doing better than most of the local radio stations. Was there somebody or something that inspired you wanting to pursue all this?
Well, yeah. My brother, he inspired me in the radio industry because he was in the short wave, and Bob knows this, ham radio and so forth, and he had a tower strapped to the fence outside in the backyard, and was talking to people all over the world. And he had these things called Heath kit, where it's a kit. You make your own transmitter and radio and all these things, and And I watched him do that, and that's how I learned to solder. I'd say, what's a diode for? And he'd explain it in the best way I could explain to anybody in simplest terms. What's a diode? Well, imagine water going through a pipe and having a valve that allows the water to flow through it this way, but doesn't allow it to flow back that way. That's a check valve. That's exactly what a diode is with electrical current. It allows the current to go one way, but it doesn't allow it to go back the other way.
I didn't even know electrical currents could go back the other way they came from. I didn't know that was you just it goes out here, goes, go to my phone to charge it.
Or maybe it says, this is as far as you're going.
Yeah. That's it, charge my phone, don't come back to me, yes,
Well, didn't you build, when you were younger, as like a kid, didn't you build your own camera, right?
Yes, I
Is
did.
that correct? Yeah, because you brought it to the show when we had you on.
Yeah,
showed it off.
Yeah, well, I still have that camera. It belongs in a museum. I don't know what to do with it. But yeah,
the HUA Hall of Fame.
That thing was literally built from scratch. Literally from scratch.
Question.
What museum is it in?
No, belongs in a museum. Yes.
In a museum. Maybe in the Green Bay UFO Museum.
Yeah.
Great question. Great question.
You just gotta listen, pay attention to what he's saying up here, and he might. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Mac. That was a joke. Rough crowd. All right, what are we getting into next? Yeah. Hey, gets the best of all.
So
with
you starting this new podcast, is this kind of like getting the itch of kind of what you had back when you were doing all this?
Yeah. Does it feel good to get back behind the camera, behind the microphone?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Maybe
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I really am. I don't feel confident.
Is it scared or is it excitement? A little bit of both.
I don't feel the excitement. I feel I'm you know what I think? If I'll get excited if everybody else does.
Okay.
Right.
It seems like people are getting excited about this, and if you're not, how can I be?
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm just this. Think of it this way: I'm just like all of you guys watching this old stuff, and enjoy it for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well, and that's kind of like the beauty of it. Is just kind of like, look at all this. I mean, I've got a bunch of cool stuff that I really enjoy. I'm gonna put it out there. If nobody else really enjoys it, then I guess it's for me personally, and I'll do with it what I want back at my house. But for now, like, let's see if other people want to see it, because there is just so much awesome content that, I mean, just isn't out there and easily available to go like, oh, if you just wanted to watch an episode of TJ and the Ant or whatever, like, it's not. There's nowhere to find it. There's nowhere to reconnect with those nostalgia
especially
feels.
for people in this area too. Like, just like I said before, my Uber driver saying he worked for you, and TJ and the Ant was the show he watched every night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people throughout this area have that same memory of watching TJ and the Ant and these shows, and being able to bring that back. I'm sure it's going to spark a lot of excitement for a lot of people.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Doug? Do you want to come up and just kind of, you'd be on the podcast, you talk into a mic, ask him questions.
Oh, Mom's been waiting.
And,
this is the moment she's been waiting for.
All right, yeah.
So,
Yeah, talking to the mic.
Have a seat.
remember the olden days? Remember
Oh yes, sir. I remember you very
Talk
well.
Don't remember to
So
talk
when
into the mic. Talk into the mic. There we go.
So when I see
That works.
like the pictures of you with all the equipment behind you, like all that stuff, you can figure out how to put pieces together. Because you were saying you weren't quite techie, but like the clips and the this and the that.
Yeah.
I mean, but isn't it?
Does it work behind
just
you, or is it
seems-
for show?
No, but it seems overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of stuff to put together.
Yeah, yes, but if there's anything I enjoy about all of this, I enjoy the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy a challenge.
Yeah.
So that part, I like the challenge of it. It's a lot of work. It's not easy to do.
Well, and even
Right,
just Doug, you
right.
telling us about just digitizing all of that. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that's a
what I'm
challenge in
saying.
and of itself. And then to make a show out of the content you've digitized, it's two huge undertakings all in one.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're.
Oh yeah, I ran cameras for the news. I was on the remote. That was fun. Probably too much fun.
Muster wagon.
Yeah. And then, receptionist for the all-night theater. So.
Okay. What's your favorite memory from the all-night theater, working as a receptionist?
I just the funny phone calls we'd get from people, and just staying up all night and sitting at the desk with some of the reporters or engineers. I don't know who was there, and just talking and
feeling like you're a part of something like bigger, like
it was cool.
Just,
I was in high school, so it was a great thing, or college maybe. I don't remember. When did it start?
1977.
Okay, so I had just graduated from high school. Yeah, so it was a great thing to be able to do.
That'd be an awesome right out of high school job to do. Like
I was kind of famous.
Honestly, yeah.
I was his second half.
Well, without you, there'd be no TJ in the end.
Okay, I'm gonna put this.
Perfect. There we go. Right. Anyone else have a question they want to come up and ask Doug?
Sure.
Please.
You can either come up or
come on. This guy, I'm going to introduce this gentleman.
Yeah, please. Yes.
This man his name is Bob Olson.
Okay.
And he grew up literally across the street and 2 houses down from where I grew up, from a child to when I left when I was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. And welcome, Bob.
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So I was there back in the day when Doug was doing all this stuff, and I remember it well. I knew his brother and knew all his brothers' set up in his basement and
the radio
all that stuff
station.
he was doing.
Yeah.
So, and I watched TJ and the Ant from the beginning. And one thing I really like about this, I think it's more than TJ and the Ant, but this is really the history of Green Bay and the history of Green Bay television. It's very historical stuff that you're going to see in the 1970s.
Right.
It's more than TJ and the Ant. It's just a history of behind everything, and I think that's fabulous. I love history and love talking about history, and that's what I'm impressed about, and that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Because it's right on the the cutting edge of entertainment television. I mean, it's everything that kind of Doug did, like pushed entertainment forward. All night TV, now you can go on to just about any cable channel and they're playing movies all night long. You can pop on at 3 a.m. there's a movie playing. Doug was doing that. So I 100% agree. And
good.
Awesome.
Job. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming, Bob. I appreciate
thanks for coming up. I think that is one thing that I think a lot of us younger folks in the crowd don't realize, is that nowadays, we started a podcast and let's just go live. Why not click a button?
Right.
But back in the day, it wasn't that simple. And so a lot of things that you were doing back then were a lot more complicated and not as, usual. So I think that's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Joel, you want to come up here and make? We were talking earlier when you came in.
Yeah, come on.
Come on up.
Come on.
Come on down. The price is right.
Carl keeps your chair warm for you.
It's seat service.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Hey.
How's it going? Your name's Joe?
Yeah, my name is Joe. Joe
nice
Gribb.
to meet you.
Grew up in Alloway and lifelong resident of Wisconsin, but yeah, I grew up watching your show. I was about 10 years old when it started in '77, and long story short, my father had passed away when I was just 10 years old, and that was right around when the show started. And just long story short, without all the gory details, our family life, our life in general, just went to absolute hell after my father passed away. But TJ and the Ant I discovered that, and it was, I ate it up. The science fiction movies and like I said, you were the cool production guy when production wasn't cool. But all like you were saying, the G.I. Joe band, the mystery photos, and all the little snippets and stuff you did, the time fillers and whatnot, to make a 7-hour show. Because a lot of these movies were not 2-hour movies. You play 3 movies usually. And, you always got to do something to fill those time slots. And I just thought it was great. I ate it up. But it was something I look forward to, every week. I watch it religiously, and our friends became a thing where we, get together and who needs an excuse to stay up all night long?
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
When you're a kid, but you you didn't have school or a job or anything to go to the next day on Saturday, so it was just great. It was it was kind of like breaking the change, and I'm going to stay up all night long. It's like, what are you going to, usually it's like, hey, it's midnight or whatever, time to go to bed a long time ago. It's like, wow, TJ and the Ants coming on, please, whatever, and started started off that way. But I just ate the show up, and here it is 40 whatever years later, 45 years later, and it's like meeting my childhood hero. And
That's so cool.
Great.
That's awesome.
All the stuff is just, like you said, the nostalgia. I think there would be a huge market for your podcast when it comes out, because there's so much stuff out there today that is I'm just going with fake, plastic, manufactured, just junk, garbage content, and people in this country and whatnot are really looking for the good old days.
Yeah.
Back when things were
Fun.
and real and values and morals and stuff, and the good old days.
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
was certainly the good old days of television and movies and stuff. But to see, you bring this stuff back and start showing it again, will spark just a ton of memories where, oh yeah, I remember that and whatnot. And, oh, did you know that? But word of mouth is the best advertising.
Definitely.
And once people start seeing this, and I think it's just going to take off huge.
Do you have Do you have a memory or a favorite TJ and the Ant movie that he played, or an episode or something that just like sticks in your brain? That's like, that's why I love that show so much.
The Brain That Wouldn't Die.
The Brain.
You can Google it. Google it. Movie Brain That Wouldn't Die. And I it's just one of those all the sci-fi shows I just loved. I eat that stuff
okay.
up. But that was kind of out there for, even for a little kid. But if you Google it, the Brain That Wouldn't Die movie, I have it actually on CD, because I like to collect all the old stuff like that and whatnot. But yeah, that was one of the ones that he showed. That there's a treasure trove of stuff out there that you put out on the airwaves. That's just an amazing accomplishment. Really, all the stuff that you did. You're a pioneer in so many ways of stuff that people don't really know about, but they have experienced you without knowing it. Oh, he did that.
Exactly.
He did that?
Yeah.
And whatnot. That I think the show will really, like I said, spark a lot of good stuff.
Cool. That's awesome.
I agree.
So that brings up Doug. So were you kind of like specific? Did you play mainly like sci-fi movies, or did you have a mix of different? Did you jump at what was the
originally
genre?
When I went to Tom with the idea of the all-night theater, I didn't bring this up, but I was aware that in the basement at the TV station, they had 500 black and white movies.
Okay.
And they were owned by the TV station, and they had the rights to run those movies anytime they wanted, as much as they wanted. They were RKO pictures. And that's what I started the show out with, because there was no cost, no expense. But as the show got successful, the Monty Stock was the program director at the time, and he allowed me to order some movie packages. Now, when you buy a movie package, you might get, let's say, for $25,000, you get 20 movies that you can run 4 times on your TV station. Okay. And when you buy a movie package, some of them would be thrillers, or like you're talking about, different categories of stuff, and sci-fi and horror and this and that. So I was able to pick what package we bought.
Okay.
And I had a lot of requests for people wanting Alfred Hitchcock's movies, like the movie Rope.
Oh, okay.
I
think there's a book right behind you, Hitchcock Mystery Magazine.
Yeah. How about that?
That's
but I couldn't get those movies because they were cost prohibitive, so those didn't happen. Oh, but by the way, movie Rope by Alfred Hitchcock. I wanted so much to run that movie because I myself had not seen it.
Okay.
But I found out that was one movie that Alfred Hitchcock wanted to shoot that movie from start to finish in one take.
Oh my God.
One take.
That is.
But unfortunately, the movie cameras, those big film magazine cameras they had, could only hold. They shot on like 35 millimeter film, and they could only hold 20 minutes of film at a time.
Oh.
So when you watch the movie Rope, which I did finally get to see, but I never ran it on the all-night theater. What's cool about that movie is that 19 minutes into the movie, the camera will go down into this dark shot and then come back out again, and that's a fresh roll of film. And they do that about 4 times throughout the movie. But what's really cool is you watch the actors perform nonstop for 19 minutes, and they can't make one mistake. They can't have one camera miss. So if you ever get a chance to watch the movie Rope from Alfred Hitchcock, that's a good movie, especially for that reason.
We're gonna have some hold us accountable challenges that we're gonna have to hold ourselves to. Yeah, we're gonna have some homework. Rope. It's called Rope. Is that what you said?
Yep, Rope.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you write a movie, or you directed your own little movie, correct?
Yeah, I made a movie called Elusive, and I don't know yet if I'm going to release that because I'm going to, like I say, see how this podcast thing
Thanks,
goes.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Thanks,
Yes,
Joe.
thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Watch your step, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Watch out for our murder cord. That's awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Anyone else? Questions?
Yeah.
Questions?
And I think
never mind.
Joe's testament. I mean, just about. I mean, you've got several people here who have watched the show, part of the show, have been watching it and are excited for you to come out with your own podcast. I'm sure that there's many more out there that would be excited to see it too, as soon as they know about it as well. So, I think as soon as your show starts up, it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting for a lot of people.
It's gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hit.
So do you with your show? Do you talk about kind of everything you've done before that time? Just, I mean, because when you came on our show the first time, you talked about the radio station, building the camera. I mean, your life has been just a nonstop movie in a sense, kind of just the crazy shit you've done that was just bizarre to us with the dance floors and everything you've started. Do you plan to talk about that at all through the podcast?
No, I don't plan to make the show about me at all.
Oh, you should.
To some degree,
honestly.
to some degree, I can't help it because I have, because I was there and I'm sharing my stories of what I know about what you're about to watch.
Yeah.
So, and then after I play these clips, I'll also follow up with other information, like I did about Don Shunke being the voice in that commercial, and that I do explain that in the episode 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, another, if just a kind of like a free-for-all show for you to just kind of talk about your history and getting how you got into all of the things you got into. That would be, I think, a very entertaining episode for people to just kind of be like, oh, how did he kind of, almost like kind of doing a podcast on your book, like you personally kind of going through your book a little bit. Like that would be, I think, would be very entertaining as well.
Yeah. Well, like I said about the book, is when I wrote that book, I had all these stories I wanted to tell, but I couldn't glue them all together without sharing my personal input of how, I was involved in all these things. So that's why the book ended up the way it did.
I mean, it's one, we read the book and it was like, a challenge to read the book, but reading it wasn't a challenge. It was so entertaining. There's so many entertaining stories. It's not just like I did this and it's very all encompassing of the kind of the free for all time that you were making content at that. Like it really puts it all together in a great package. So again, the history of Green Bay and the television, like that's in that book, and it's an awesome read.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed reading it.
My Reality TV show by Doug Heim, if you haven't read it or heard about it before.
Yeah, Seamus, check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Hey. It's a sweet book.
Yeah.
Easy read, easy words.
There's pictures, Shamo.
I love pictures.
Well, one of the things we haven't mentioned at all is I had a TV show in the 80s called The Dance Machine.
Yes.
And
tell us about it.
originally I was inspired to do that show from Dick Clark's American Bandstand. I
That's
grew up,
right.
and my sister was 15 years old, and I'm 7, 8 years younger than her, and she's watching Dick Clark's American Bandstand on Saturday mornings, and it's like cool, and all these kids are dancing. So I was inspired with that early on, and then I started my mobile DJ business, and that took off on its own. That's one story, but what is really cool.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Can you tell a little history about the show you were talking about that inspired you? What, the Dick Clark or dance show?
They don't know about that. Oh, they never heard of it. Oh,
yeah. Just a little bit. What? What was it about? What? Yeah. Just so we have a little idea about.
Sure. For those of you that have never seen the Dick Clark American Bandstand.
Yes. Please.
Dick Clark would be at a podium, and he'd be above a dance floor full of young teenagers, and they would introduce the latest pop music.
Okay.
So anything that was new with popular radio music, the top 40 or whatever. Sometimes they would just play the records, and they would show all these kids just dancing to this popular music, and then they would have a guest come on that might be an actual band, and Dick would interview them a little bit, and that's all the show was. It was not complex. It was a dance show of people dancing on television. And Dan,
can I just interject?
Yes.
That show was popular, but there were markets around the country that had their own local version of the Dick Clark show. And the thing that was unique about that was that if you're in Baltimore, you can see your friends dance, or you're in New York, you can see. So it was very local, local experience, which was the beauty of the dance machine was that it was about community. And it was about seeing your friends make fools of themselves on television.
Okay. I do that for free every Saturday night.
Catch them at Cock and Ball.
Version of that.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's really unique to this market. So.
That's awesome.
Here's the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So Tom Hutchinson, once again, he starts up HVS, the home video shopper. He hires me away from TV 11, so I start up this 24-hour-a-day commercial channel. In the first hour, he has real estate, for a whole hour long, tours through homes for sale. The second hour is the auto show. They would go to car lots, and they would drive these cars through and say, here's the features, here's how much it costs, move to the next one.
Okay.
And then the third hour was an entertainment type of hour. They talked about wining and dining and entertainment and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, the fourth hour was kind of a free-for-all. It was more anything goes kind of thing. Well, that's where I went to Tom and said, I own the dance machine, and I'd like to take your cameras into bars and tape a television show and play it on your cable channel. And so that's how it started. And then TV 32 signed on the air, and Sam Hutchinson gets a hold of me and says, we'd like to put your show on our TV station.
Okay.
And so I signed a 1-year contract and provided the station with a year show, and we traveled all over northeastern Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Neenah Menasha, Marinette Menominee, and everywhere in between. We would travel and tape these people dancing on shows. And so it was real successful in the beginning, but there was also some stories about it that makes me hang my head, because I'll never forget the one Sunday morning. Because, by the way, the show aired on Sunday mornings on TV 32 from like 10 to 11 or 11 noon, somewhere in there.
Perfect for Sunday.
Yeah, right after church.
So here I am, after working on Saturday night out on the DJ job, and I usually would get home like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd bed down and I'd get up to watch my show, and I'm watching the dance machine, and there's this guy, bare-chested, belly button hanging out, and he's holding up a beer going,
That's me.
I was going to say
Saturday night.
I was going to say, Shamo, you can travel back in time?
What have I done?
It's probably my dad. I just got it from him.
Anyway.
Now that's good Sunday morning television right there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get now. If you tried to do that now, it would just be a bunch of...
You can't.
It would be...
No. Well, here's one thing. I just recently had my lighted dance floors in Las Vegas for a taping of the TV show called Bar Rescue.
Oh, yeah.
On the Paramount Network.
Yeah.
and I donated a floor for that. And I found out real quickly that you put things on the air, and I forgot what I was going to say. You have another old Milwaukee?
Yeah,
we got 30 more, Doug.
So how recent was this?
Can anyone in this room relate to what I'm?
Huh? What?
So
are you talking about?
how recent was your dance floor on this show? That's
about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was good publicity, but it's nothing's ever enough.
Right, yeah.
Was there a guy with his belly button out screaming?
Well, that was
live
just
from
like,
Las Vegas?
I had a vision for, I always have a vision in my mind of what I'm creating
Sure.
and what I think it's going to turn out, but we all know reality has a different plan. So,
well, and Wisconsin is kind of, if you're looking to catch people dancing, Wisconsin ain't the place to catch people. Yeah, not good dancing at least. But I mean, polkas, that's pretty good. That's
square dance.
I'm going to tell you something, you may not believe it, but it's true. My wife offered her sister a lighted dance floor for her daughter's wedding reception for free. That it's like a gift. She said there'll be no dancing.
Oh.
What?
Weird, huh?
What?
Oh.
There'll be no dancing.
Uh-oh.
I see I've been to a lot of weddings receptions in my lifetime, and I see even to this day there's TV shows out there, like for weddings and wedding dresses and all that stuff.
Big industry.
I've never seen a wedding where there's no dancing. It's just, as a matter of fact,
Doesn't sound like a
when I
wedding.
was building my floors, I wanted to take them out to a club in the Green Bay area this few years ago, and I wanted to find somebody that would let me set the floor up so that I can take pictures of people dancing on it. It was brand new.
Sure.
Nobody would let me. And not only that, there was no place. I said to the guy, well, where do people go dancing now? He says, weddings. So, is there a place to go dancing in town anywhere?
I was going to say,
Anywhere I can stand.
A place could use a pretty cool lighted dance floor would be the Green Bay UFO Museum gift shop and records. I mean, people walk down those stairs onto a lit dance floor like, whoa, I got to find me a record now. All right. Hey.
St. Michael's Pub?
Yeah, St.
there you
Mikey's.
So are you still doing work with it, like doing the dance floors and renting them out, and if anybody
the business started out by renting. I built one dance floor, and I was just going to rent it out.
Yeah,
right.
And it was 3 inches thick, and I went back to the drawing board. I knew there was legal liability issues with tripping and so forth. So I came up with another design, and it was so unique, I actually was able to patent it.
Okay, right.
And
it's in the book. Check it out. My reality TV show.
And well, anyway, the floor that I make now, I used to manufacture them myself in the garage. We used to build the power supplies, assemble them, all the cables, the cords, the
Also
dance
in the
floor
book.
panels, and I got to the point where I was trying to produce a television show at the time. I was building the dance floors at the time.
Busy guy.
My wife's dad moved in. Their parents moved in with us,
and the tri-level house. Yeah,
Oh,
yep, I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that from
With
the
the
book.
steps,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. Oh yeah.
And so anyway, the dance floor business now to this day, I don't build the floors anymore. They're made by the Amish in Michigan.
Okay.
And what I do basically is I just take the orders and I deal with my customers, and I do technical support if they got problems.
Okay.
I do the bookkeeping. I don't, I just keep the books. I don't do the accounting stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I got an accountant for that.
The Amish build them? Is
Yeah.
there electricity involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does this work?
You wouldn't believe this Amish setup. I met Ed is his name. That's the Amish carpenter.
Okay.
And I met him from a guy named Harold Otto. If you know his name, he used to be the host of a TV show called Polka Variety, and I produced his show for him. And he got a hold of me around 2010 and wanted me to produce his show again. And I told him I'll do it, but I was also doing the dance floors. I was doing his TV show, and this goes on.
Yeah.
So something had to give. So I told Harold, I said, I can't do your show anymore. I said, I'm too busy with the dance floor business. It's picking up, and I was actually getting an order on Monday for someone who wanted to rent a floor on Saturday, and the floor didn't exist yet.
Whoa.
And I would take the booking and take their down payment, and then it's like guns all on. We got to build this floor, you know. And
that's
my wife and her dad. He was in his 90s. He was helping me build them.
Yeah, in the garage. Yeah.
I built a routing duplicator, so I had templates. So he just put the template in, and he would cut the parts out, and I would glue them together, and that's how it started. But anyway, it got to the point where I couldn't do it. It was overwhelming, and I told Harold I can't do it. Well, he lives in Pulaski, and he's one of his businesses is busing people around, and he was busing the Amish around. Bellevue's full of it's an Amish community, so that's where he said, I think I know someone that can help you out with your floors. So he connected him up with this Ed. I drove out to his farm, picked him up, beautiful farm. His Amish are unbelievable. And took him back to my garage, and I showed him my operation and what I was doing. And I told him, I want you to build the floors, and I'll continue to do all the electronics. So he took it over in Bellevue, and I was commuting back and forth to Green Bay with a trailer and picking up floors from him, and then we put the electronics in it and this and that. And then over time, I won't keep this short, it got to the point Ed was going to move. He's going to move to Michigan, and that's where his family's from.
Okay.
And all the Amish community. Well, before he left, I would see these Amish buggies going down the road, and it was the cold dead of winter, and I got to Ed, and Ed, one of the things that he does, his real job, he's a carpenter, and he manufactures Amish buggies. And I mean, he manufactures them from scratch. He makes the wheels. He's got the tooling to bend the stuff to make the wheels and spokes, but his they were like Rolls Royces. They were plush interiors and gorgeous inside. Jeez. And I said to him, I see you guys Amish all the time, you know, going down the road, your horses and stuff. I said, don't you get cold in there? You need a heater in those things or something. And well, one day, this was right before he left to go to Michigan, he's building these Amish buggies, and believe it or not, he's got an Amish buggy. He says, Doug, I want you to see this one. And I said, okay. Yep, he's got a heater in the front dash of the thing, and it runs off a little propane tank he put on the back of the thing. And the best part is the interior lighting. LED color, remote control, lights underneath the carriage. You know, so you see one of these Amish buggies going down the road with
cash cab.
Mood lighting inside and
Cash Amish.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
And I guess I had a little influence on that boy. I don't know.
I just think making these dance floors have to be.
He's pretty smart. He's a pretty smart guy.
He's got a facility that looks like a.
When you started doing them on your own, it's like, how did you even know how to start?
Well, that's the key thing. Sometimes you don't know. You don't know. You just wing it. That's what we're doing here tonight.
Right, yeah.
That's what I
don't know what we're doing.
I said, how do you want to do
This
this
is
show?
all
And
new.
you're like, I'm going to show up, just wing it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're doing, too. Oh.
Matt?
What was your thought process like? What was like your first initial thought when you were sitting there thinking like, oh, that'll be a sick idea, like making the dance floors? Like, was there something that kind of like influenced you, or did you just straight come up with it on your own?
Well, I got a little lucky there. I was at a point where I didn't know what I was going to do. If he goes to Michigan and I can't have him make my floors anymore, I'm like in my son's situation. I was talking to him earlier. It's like, I need help. I got a boatload of stuff I need, and I'm by myself. I need to find people to help me. But Ed was my hero. And the thing was, like I told you earlier, he was only making the floors. We were doing all the electronics. Well, when he went to Michigan, I was getting prepared to rent a shop and set up full production and this and that. And then Ed said, he says, give it to me. I'll do all of it. I said, you'll do everything? He said, yeah. He says, bring it on. Wow. So I did. And yeah, and by the way, Ed's a brilliant man, because when he saw what I was doing, he came up with ideas how to do it better right away.
You think the Amish know how to put on a podcast? We could use a
So what influenced you to make these before you had anybody make? Yeah, to start these, to build these dance floors in the start, where you at a place and people were just dancing on hardwood floors, and you're like, well, this is boring. Let's
Dance
make a
machine.
thing that lights up and make this a little more exciting. Where did the first idea come from?
Well, I built a portable lighted dance floor back in 1978.
Okay.
And that was what part of the dance machine's equipment.
Right.
And when we went to a place, we set up, and the floor was only 12 feet by 14 feet.
Okay.
And it was Christmas tree lights.
Oh, yeah.
and literally, the light controller was a guy pushing key pads on a keyboard
No
to
kidding.
make the lights flash. Well, that floor was a hit. I mean, and we were the only DJ service that even offered such a thing. You know, first of all, we were the first DJs. Then there were more and more that came up over the years, and that also created a problem because being the first on the block with any idea isn't always the best thing, because somebody else will come along and just blow you away because they figured out what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
But the first time I was out with the DJ business, and we eventually evolved. And of course, the TV show, the Dance Machine TV show, which kicked off on HVS and then eventually TV 32. Anyway, I guess I'm kind of losing my track here.
The putting the dance machine and realizing like, oh, we provide this lighted dance floor and people love it, so let's make it bigger. Like, why not?
Well.
You built everything. You put the speakers together. You put the consoles together. You were even selling the stuff out of your old shop on University.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's my boy.
Hyping me up. That's my boy.
That's a shop right down the road, right? Where yeah, there's a restaurant in there right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that, yeah.
But yeah, you were building consoles and selling and putting the speakers together.
So eventually, the dance machine, I got out of it, but I still owned it, and I had a guy manage it and hire DJs, and that's a book itself. Believe me, that's a whole other story.
I think just DJs is a book itself, and let alone hiring DJs.
On top of the camera, I think what should go in a museum is that bus, that big truck you had that with dance machine plastered on the side. That thing was sweet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it turned heads.
It definitely turned heads. That thing was awesome.
I remember all that stuff.
Oh, man.
They'd be down in the basement. They'd be playing with weights and all kinds of stuff. All my uncles and your friends, and you guys were.
Man. As a kid, did you ever try and break in the truck and try and make your own shit out of what your dad had going on? Or?
No, but I remember electrocuting myself.
Yeah, I bet. There's a lot of currents going through that.
So many wires and cables down here. What does this one do? Ah, fuck.
But to answer your question, what spawned the floors I'm creating now is I got out of that business, didn't have anything to do with lighted floors or DJing for many, many years. And after trying to get Angel Copter off the ground, that was my drone. I had this vision that, hey, nobody's doing that. Nobody
was.
Nobody's doing it. So I stuck a ton of money and bought a helicopter, portable helicopter, and tried to sell it, and I won't get into that story, but it failed.
Okay.
I just couldn't get a realtor to understand.
You thought of the drone.
You ever look now at buy real estate? Can you see anything without an aerial picture?
If they don't have aerial pictures, you're like, what is this? I don't want to walk at this house.
In 2009, I went literally set meetings up. I did presentations to realtors, and I told them that you could be the first realty company to have all of your pictures have an aerial picture, not just the big properties or the country properties, but every property. I showed them the difference of a small little house on a little street, showing it, here's this picture you guys got. Look at this picture.
Right.
Now it shows a backyard, this and that.
Yeah.
Nobody. I couldn't get anybody to bite. No one. So anyway, in the frustration of all that, I'm sitting having a beer with my buddy, and it was a gray, rainy day, and I was sawing my fiddle about the failed business. It's not working out, and not to mention the FCC told me, or FAA told me I can't fly it because it's illegal while we figure out stuff. So anyway, I'm sawing my fiddle about that, And Ron says to me, "Well, why don't you start the dance machine back up again?" I'm like, "Come on, I'm 50-some years old. I'm not going to go back to DJing. And besides, this music, have you listened to this dance music lately?" So, and then he said, I said, "But if I was to do it again, I would have a lighted dance floor because we had one back then. It was a big hit, and no one still to this day is offering a lighted dance floor. I checked in Wisconsin, no one. Illinois, no one. Minnesota. I mean, I checked everywhere. I couldn't find anyone in the country renting a lighted dance floor. Then I did find someone out in Vegas, but they were a big high-end company, and they were charging like $50,000 to rent a lighted floor and things of that sort.
Fucking dance floor.
I couldn't believe it, and I thought right there, so, well, I think I can come up with something simple and not cost that much money. And that's when I came up with the 4-inch thick floor and took that out for a while until I knew I had to redesign something, made the patented design. I had to wait about a year for the patent to come through. But it's weird because if you apply for a patent or don't apply for a patent and you show your invention to people,
they can just
you could
they'll just be like, "Oh, that's cool. Give me that, and I'll patent it." Yeah,
that's really
You're
nice.
screwed, basically.
Exactly. Wow.
So, anyway, I everything went good, and the very, very, very first night that my floor was out on its very first job, I was sitting there watching the floor and thinking, "Oh, this is kind of, made me kind of proud."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I
This is
see
what I
this
did.
woman walk up and boom, falls down. She tripped on the edge of the floor. The floor is like 1.5 inches thick. And she tripped on the very outside edge of the floor. She didn't see it. Down she went. I'm standing back there, and I hung my head, and I thought, lawsuit. And I also thought, I got to find something else to do with this, because this isn't going to work. I can't take these floors out and get sued by people tripping on it, this and that. So I went back to the drawing board and created trip-proof beveled edging on the floor. That took a lot more work than you have any idea, because I had to go to Doug. My son was at a metalworking shop at the time, and he takes chunks of metal and forms them into something. But this is more like sheet metal type of work, where I needed these things drilled and so anyway, that solved the tripping problem. But it also created a new one, because every time you solve a problem, you create a new one. That's the law of the universe.
Right.
And the problem it did create is that, I had this aluminum beveled edging all over framing the floor, but it's nice and shiny until you use the floor a couple times, and it's all scratched up. And it looks like hell.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with an idea to solve that problem. I built a machine that when we get the material from the manufacturer, our sheet metal company, then we run it through my machine that I built, and it puts these wire brush marks in it, so it scratches it up in a nice way, so that when you use it and you scratch it up, you don't see the scratches.
Look like it's okay.
Solve the scratches by scratching.
So that's the story of the lighted dance floors.
Is all in this book right here.
Yeah.
All in my reality TV show right here. Shamo, check the book. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, Grandpa's backyard.
Easy, bud.
Yep. I remember.
Is there any video clips of this old?
Yeah, do you have any video?
Yes. Yeah. In a short answer, yes.
Max.
Yeah, and back then I shot everything was on DV video, digital video tapes. Those little cassette tapes, So
Can you pass this to Carl down there? He's pretty thirsty.
I don't know. Can I?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, there he goes.
Thank you, bud.
And I think when Shamo gets back, should we look at that picture just zoomed out, just
let's
just a little bit more?
Might be a dance floor.
Is it a dance floor?
Well, here's a clue.
And he's back.
It is something you can hold in your hand.
Oh. I think I know. Something you can hold in your.
I'm not gonna ruin it for anyone. No spoilers, but it's a.
Someone said harmonica earlier. That's a really good guess.
Yeah, it's a great guess, but it's not the right one.
Oh, it's a bottle opener.
Oh.
A bottle opener. Oh, it's the.
It is a bottle opener.
All right. Okay, go to the next picture. Give him the answer. I think they call it a church key, don't they?
Yep.
There it is.
The old church key.
Oh, no shit.
Told you it's something you hold in your hand.
Yep.
So anyway, that's one of the things we'll be doing on the new podcast is I'll be bringing up these old mystery pictures that were taken, and I think Max wanted to ask me about something about the mystery pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
Your very first one? Why was it actually a mystery picture? Or was it they used it as a?
No, it was never a mystery picture, but boy, it sure made a mystery.
Yeah. Why don't you elaborate on that one?
Do you have that picture on here?
I don't think we can show it.
Yeah, I didn't bring that picture with me. I don't even know if I have it, to be honest with you. But the story short, if you haven't read the book, I'll share you the story. It was I had these mystery pictures going, and I was told I was out in the studio zooming in on things, but I couldn't take pictures of things that you can take with a camera with a good lens on it. So one of the viewers of the TV show, who was a professional photographer, had the equipment to do macro and zoom in real tight on things. So he gave me a whole batch of mystery pictures to use, and along with those mystery pictures, he also gave me some other just pictures of anything, just to be artistic, if you will.
So we'll call it that. Yeah.
Wait till you hear the rest of the story.
I was going to say, you're getting into it here, Doug? All right, I can't wait. Let's do it.
So anyway, I had these images. They were actually on 35 millimeter slides, is what they were, and I worked with a number of producers at the TV station, and one of them, I can't remember his name for sure, but I don't want to mention his name because I could be wrong. But anyway, one of the producers I worked with saw those pictures, and he said, "Hey, I could use that for a background on one of the commercials." And I thought, "Sure, go right ahead, fine by me." And he produced the commercial, and it was one of these TV commercials that aired everywhere. It was on Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel 11. It aired morning, noon, night. It even aired on the all-night theater.
And he just used it as the background for all his commercials.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was like a 60-second long commercial, and at the last 10 seconds of the commercial, they give you this phone number, address stuff, and this blurry pink background.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was. I didn't care. It was what it was.
Yeah.
Well,
nice
it was
background.
because it was airing all the time, everywhere. The guy who gave me the picture, he said, called me up out of the blue, and he says, "Doug," he says, "I got to tell you." He says, "Do you know what that's a picture of?" I said, "No." I says, "It looks like some crinkled pink paper or something." He goes, "No." He said, "Actually, that's a extreme close-up of my penis." Have you ever had all the blood drain out of your body? Have you ever get like an instant chill?
You were ahead of your time, Doug. You were ahead of your time.
Background.
I didn't tell anybody that for years because I was afraid that the TV station could have got in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, all the TV stations were airing it.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Right. And not only did you just
literally.
Wouldn't it be great if I could make this stuff up?
Oh man.
Mass distribution dick pic. That's awesome.
Well, the thing is, after I learned,
I'm on the commercial. What do you mean? Look at that background.
After I learned the fact of what that picture was, I still continue to see that commercial on it. And I remember one time walking into a bar with my wife, I think, and seeing this TV set up in the corner, and there it was.
Staring at you, eye to eye.
And I'm the only person that knows what they're looking at.
That's awesome.
It's one of my. Did Shamo bring up another of one of the close-up pictures?
I don't know if he brought more than one.
No, I just brought the one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought when I was walking back, I thought you said you had my bad.
No, next one will be on December 1st.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Super excited.
Got another taker for an old Milwaukee.
Go figure. My
Just a
my
water
son
and
would figure out what the mystery picture was.
Cheez-Its and pretzels and
Something to open a beer can.
beer bottles.
Perfect
Yeah.
for the show.
No, Joe, who was on here a little bit ago, we were talking about the tabs used to come on the beer can weren't like they are now.
Yeah.
You popped them off and you could make a chain of these things. And
When did that stop? That
not soon enough.
Put them in the can?
Yeah, people would pop the top and drop it in their can.
Is that how you knew you were
swallow
finished?
it.
When you were like, I
Yum.
must be done with my beer now.
your dad has your dad probably has the largest collection of these tabs I've ever seen. Sits right on top of his
Oh,
microwave.
yeah.
Every
Well,
beer,
yeah,
it's like just a giant bowl of these metal
He
tabs.
goes.
Well, do you trade them in for like a keychain or something, or?
To make chains out of them, like Doug said, but we just take the tab and fold the tab part into the ring, the pull ring of the other one. And
Okay.
start making chains of them. We had it going all the way around our dorm room at college.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
One of my first jobs was at a blueprint shop, and anyway, we had a blueprint or glass cylinders. They're probably about 5 feet tall, and the larger ones are maybe 10, 11 inches around. And my buddy who was his dad owned the shop, we brought one of those home and started filling it with beer tabs. Because we were going to put all these tabs or whatever, instead of just throwing them away. Well, let's save them, because just, here's how much we drank was just, back in the day, it was just a badge of whatever. Idiocy, but we filled
Idiocy, there you go.
those blueprint machine cylinders. So figure, like
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
by
God.
almost a foot around.
Thousands
filled,
of-
filled with just beer tabs on beer bottle caps and the tops off of half barrel where they seal them.
I think that's why they got rid of them. People are like, they're having too much fun ripping these. People are just getting hammered because they're just ripping tabs off and just.
Do you remember
making
when they
chains.
changed the top of beers? Because like before it was, how did you open a beer? Like wait,
It's like
wasn't it
Campbell soup
kinda-
can.
Yeah. Rip it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
before the pull tab, it was the church key.
That's true.
And
That's true.
then the pull tab, and now these things.
Yeah.
Now, when did they change?
Yeah, do you remember?
Church key?
The church key with the point of it.
Like a
It was just like
like a bottle opener.
pop a hole in the can.
That is bizarre. Does anybody else have any question, any stories or anything else?
How about
Anything,
you, Dan?
anything.
Any dance machine stories?
Like, where do I start?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Yeah, come on up.
Perfect. I gotta pee. Perfect.
So,
By the way, Dan, thanks for coming. So good to see you. I haven't seen this man in what? Decades.
I think I escaped Green Bay in '83, something like that.
83.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the beginning of the dance machine. Doug wanted to do an open using the dance machine logo, and back in that time there wasn't access to CGI computer.
Yeah, like to take the video and flip it around and
Right.
Yeah, so a group of us got together in his front yard, if I remember, and
driveway.
yeah, driveway, and we had these field cameras that weighed about 40 pounds each, big, honking cameras, and we rigged a camera. I think we used an old cable
Spool.
No. Yeah, so somehow, I don't remember how we did it. Probably alcohol was involved at that point. But we fastened this camera to this spool, and we pointed it at the logo and spun this reel around.
And literally spun the camera.
Yeah, and so, today, it's a matter of just flipping a switch on a computer. But it was pretty damn innovative, and it looked legit. It looked like something we had created, in a studio somewhere. But that technology didn't really exist for doing something with a custom logo like that. So yeah, it was pretty innovative, pretty darn smart. I think.
So Dan, you worked with Doug?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He was my employee actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was his employee.
Okay.
So I blame him for my sleep schedule being all screwed up. So yeah, because I would watch TJ and the Ant when I was, I was probably 15 years old watching that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I turned 18, graduated from high school, I moved to the Twin Cities to go to school for broadcasting because I was inspired by this guy.
Okay.
So I
Awesome.
went to school for television and radio broadcasting and moved back to Green Bay after getting done with school, and the opportunity opened up to work for Doug, and it was like, well, see, my dream was at some point I was going to work for Channel 11.
Okay.
That was okay. Well, Doug can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome. No,
so
that's
Doug was a
awesome.
big inspiration for me to get into the business in the first place. So it was I've been watching this guy for years and years and years and years. And one of the things that's funny is I remember sitting around trying desperately to figure out what the hell is the technology behind Barney. And Doug would say, I've signed a contract that I can't tell you. I can never tell anybody what it is. So now, knowing that you might divulge the secret, I'm so intrigued.
Dun,
So we would
dun,
sit around and just chat and just go, well, you can tell us. We won't tell anybody.
Right.
Just tell us. No, can't do that.
No,
Can't
I
do
didn't.
that.
Signed a contract, yeah.
Yeah. So and we it was a lot of fun. And the TV show itself was really special. And like I said earlier, I think the beauty of the show was it was local, and it was, so you'd get all your friends and act stupid and do dumb things and get up in the morning and watch your friends. Yeah, and it was always one of these, oh God, I can't believe I did that kind of thing. Yeah, but
can't relate. Can't relate. Never. Can't relate to that at all. One bit.
I never apologized for that.
Douglas.
Sorry. Yeah.
So what do you have? What's your like your best memory working with
My
Doug?
best memory. I shared this with Doug earlier. One of the jobs that I did a wedding, and I don't remember. It was Sheboygan, Marinette.
Somewhere in Wisconsin.
Somewhere in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. And so I had gone out to do this wedding, and I showed up really early, and we had a dry ice machine for doing fog machine, and it was this big 55-gallon drum, and we had heating elements from a water heater stuck in the side of this thing. So you'd show up on site and you'd plug this thing in, and then when it was
Boiling hot.
Yeah. So you'd plan it so you get the water really hot, but I showed up really early, so
It was
I
hot.
mean, it was like you could make coffee in this thing. It was so hot. So I show up, plug it in, get it going. The reception starts, and part of the deal with the wedding reception was the really important part is the first dance, the dance with the
bride
new
and groom.
spouse.
Of course, yeah,
Groom,
okay.
Right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so the lights go down and the music. I start the music and it's beautiful, and I go drop the dry ice, and there's tubes coming out of the dry ice machine, out of the
They look like
55.
the kind of tubes you use for dryer vents.
Yeah, so big
okay.
octopus. Kind
Okay,
of thing.
yeah.
So the lights are on, and it's amazing. And the room is this big room, and the room is filling with fog, and it's like 2 feet, 3 feet, and it's
That's the kind of fog that doesn't fog the room. It
it's
stays
all,
low
it's all
like a cloud.
underground.
Yeah, okay.
But it's stunning, and people are like, "Oh my God!" And the couple comes around, and they're right in front of the booth, and they fall and disappear into the fog. And
They're gone.
They disappear. And so what had happened was, when I dropped the dry ice, the reaction was so intense, it shot water out of the tubes.
Exploded.
Exploded. And you couldn't see
it
there was water
because
on the
there's all the
floor.
fog.
You're talking
yeah.
about boiling water and dropping an ice cube that's like 350 degrees below zero,
Yeah. So the new
experiment.
couple disappear. They're gone. And to talk about the potential for lawsuits, I was like, Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, they come up and I see these two heads bob up out of the fog, and the fog's rolling, and they're laughing their asses off.
Okay.
Because it was funny, and
Yeah.
and the fog clears, and I got the floor wiped up. But it was probably the funniest damn thing I've ever seen because this brand new couple just disappeared. It was brilliant. I don't know if I ever came back and told you because
I don't remember. No, this is the first time I'm hearing this.
I probably shouldn't have let the water get that hot, but yeah.
But it made for really cool fog, though.
It made for a really cool
I'm sure
effect.
they remember that to this day, and,
Oh,
they are very happy
Every
about it.
wedding I go to,
Yeah.
I'm like, God, I hope they have a fog machine. I want to see that because that'd be awesome.
That's
but
so cool.
Yeah,
Oh
it was.
my
It
God.
was an experience. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So
wow.
And you
Fog
gave me some
machine.
great opportunities as a young guy wanting to get into business. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Spectacular.
All my life, I've always feel like I'm giving people opportunities, but what they do with it is
Yeah.
out of my control.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I when I left Green Bay, I went back to the Twin Cities, and I wound up going back to college and working in the industry. I did computer animation and graphics for years and years, but I don't think that I would have gone into the effects side of things if it hadn't been for you.
Okay.
Your
My fault
offering-
again.
Yeah.
I take responsibility.
Yeah, I owe you a lot.
I've done nothing wrong.
No, that's awesome though. I mean,
So even in your
Surely.
your years of experience working in animation and things like that, you're
Yeah.
still kind of trying to piece together how he did the Barneys.
Well, I think I know.
Okay.
I think I'm probably not. But the thing that is unique to Doug Heim is problem solving.
Yeah.
And I think that piece about figuring out how to rotate the camera
Mhm.
to get that effect. Because, I mean, those effects at the time were really pretty high-end computer graphic effects. I mean, you could do stuff with Chiron, which is the technology to put text on a screen at the time.
Okay.
But to do something with a custom logo, because the Dance Machine logo was, everybody knew what the Dance Machine logo was.
Sure. Right.
Driving that big truck around. So everybody knew the logo, but to produce or reproduce that logo, and then do that effect to it would have been pretty time consuming and
Sure.
maybe kind of expensive at the time. Now it's like,
Yeah. Now you can just
super
take a picture
simple
of
to
it
do
and you can.
So to
figure
come up
anything out,
with
yeah.
the idea of how to solve that problem was unique.
Okay. That's. I mean,
the
yeah.
Doug Heim thing.
Dan, do you know that I have the footage of us building that apparatus?
No, I do not know that.
I have it. I have the whole thing of you and me, and I
Yeah,
think
Mike.
Kurt Brown may
I
have
think
been
I was
there.
gonna say. I'm pretty
But
sure.
you and I are definitely the ones, and we're assembling what you were just talking about. I have that. I do not have it on the first or second episode. I'm hoping that the third episode will be released on February 1st, and just from this conversation tonight, I will make sure to include that in episode 3 of us building that apparatus and showing how we spun the sign.
Yeah.
And Doug, I
Very
think.
cool, very cool.
I think you showed us some of that footage on episode 52.
Actually, on your episode 50, if you go to Hold Us Accountable episode 52,
Yep.
yes, during that show, I do play a clip of that, but I'll play
Right.
on my what I do on my podcast is I don't talk while I'm showing a clip. I introduce a clip, show it to you clean,
Right.
unedited, uncut,
Yep.
and then I'll come back and follow up.
Yeah.
That's what the whole show is all about. Certainly not about me.
No, and I really like that approach to it. Like, here's some of the clips I have, and then let me kind of a little bit interject of what my thoughts are.
what went into it.
Yeah, what went into that clip. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see it again.
So episode 3,
Yeah.
episode 3. Look out for the footage of the Dance Machine logo spinning around and how they were able to do it.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Dan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming
you.
up, Dan. Appreciate it.
Second time on the podcast.
Who are you? Do I know?
Who is this guy? You got a question?
Hey, that's a pretty cool shirt you got there. Where'd you get that shirt
Let's
from?
talk about that
UFO
It's a spectacular cross
record
between
store,
Green Bay
Museum.
right on your shirt.
What is
Green
that?
Bay UFO.
Vince Lombardi half half human, half alien.
Oh, I was wondering
all right,
what
that's
that
pretty
was.
Those
cool,
shirts are for sale right over there. $20.
Be a
That's
great gift for
Awesome
a Christmas
gift.
present,
Yeah.
a birthday present, a Easter
Dude, this place
present.
is perfect.
Yeah, this place is pretty
yeah.
cool.
This place is so cool. Not only do they have records, they've got VHS videotapes, and if you don't have a VHS tape machine, they got them
right,
here.
They got one right behind us. There's one right behind us. Yeah.
And so
This place is
They've got original Titanic VHSs selling for $250,000 in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, they have
pretty awesome.
They have
You can find
whitey
anything
tighties
here.
pinned with all the pins you could want on your whitey tighties.
Oh my god!
I got my eye on that Darth Vader guy up in the corner there.
Ooh.
Sam. I think that is so
I love the melted records too.
Oh, yeah.
This place is awesome. Like, this is
Very cool.
came into here and I was super anxious during the day, kind of nervous for the show. Then I came
Sure.
in here and I'm like, this fits it. This is
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
This
It's the best.
It's just like a way cooler version
Yeah.
of the stew, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
Can I mention something as a
please,
time viewer of TV?
Come on.
please stop.
Sure,
Get
yeah,
up
come
here.
on.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come
get over
on. We'd love. Come on. Yeah.
Now we're about to have what, the owner or
No, I'm just a worker.
you just work here.
I'm just a worker. Pierre is the owner.
Well,
Yes.
then you're the spokesman then.
Nope, I'm not the spokesman.
Just a worker. Just a worker.
Just a worker. I just wanted to say, like, I've heard a lot of stories about people talking about how, they stayed up all late watching your show. Well, my mother, like, when your show came out, I was 10 years old, and my mother did not let me stay up late to watch your show. So what I did was I got up really early to watch the end of it. Oh. And sometimes I could get up maybe even like 4:30. And I remember the Brain Eaters was in that last segment one time.
Great movies.
So, and
Brain
that's one of the movies
Eaters.
I always remember. But I want to bring up an urban myth about your show.
Ooh.
And from listening to the podcast earlier today, talking about how a lot of the movies you used were kind of budget restraints. You had the certain ones. So I never believed this urban myth, and the whole budget thing really proves it. But I want you to know that at one time, people were going around saying that at one time on the TJ and the All Night Theater that you guys played Star Wars. I kid you not.
Oh.
That was the rumor going on the street. I'm like, and I did not believe it, and I argued with that. But this one guy was just insistent that one time you played Star Wars. Like, is that true? Did you ever play Star Wars on?
Oh,
No,
Mythbuster.
no.
Oh, I like this.
But I will tell you this. While I was doing the all-night theater, because it was 1977, that's when Star Wars came out.
Right.
The engineer I worked with on the all-night theater, his name was Russ Mann. Russ, hello.
Man.
I don't know where he got it, but he got a, what do you call them, those bootleg or
Yeah, like a pirated. Yeah.
He got a copy, and it was like 24 generation copy, meaning a copy of 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 a copy. And we, during the show, we sat in the control room and watched Star Wars, but the picture quality was just atrocious, to say the least.
Oh, so
that's the closest anything to have to do with TJ and the Ant and Star Wars.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that, that
That's
urban
cool.
myth, and I'm glad you squashed it once and for
How
all.
long have
Finally!
How
Never
long have you been
believed
waiting
it.
to?
I've been waiting.
It's finally been squashed.
Because I was really angry, just trying to the logic. It's like it hasn't even been on broadcast TV. You know what I mean? You know what I
How
mean?
could he be?
It's like no, they did not illegally run Star Wars. So, thank you for clearing that up. And my brother was a contestant on Clubhouse POW once.
What, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was kind of turned into an embarrassing family incident, and I've never told anyone this story.
Ooh,
but
exclusive.
I went on the other line to try to help him with saying POW, and he got really mad, and he started screaming at me live on your show and stuff. And then I got yelled at by my mom because that
was really not a cool move on my part. I'm really embarrassed about this that I did that. You know what I mean? So I'm apologizing for ruining my brother's appearance. Barney's Clubhouse Pow. Finally got this off my shoulders. Thank you all for helping me get through this. You know, the older you get, you realize you made some mistakes early in life, and that was one of them. So, thank you, thank you for being my confessional here. And thanks for coming, all of you guys being at the Green Bay UFO Museum gift shop and record.
There we go. Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
You want to play POW?
You're gonna give him PTSD, Doug.
that is awesome.
This is good. Anybody else want to come clean?
Yeah. Any other confessions people gotta make? Anything else?
That is awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, we always talk a lot about how so many things you were a pioneer with, and then for the first time and whatnot, and the late night show. Did you ever take any liberties, or maybe do something you didn't know it was gonna happen, or try something for the very first time on your show and whatever, or something? I might get in trouble in doing this, but what the hell? It's 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great question,
Yeah.
and the answer is yes, 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 and yes.
You don't strike me as a risk taker, Doug. I don't know what you're talking.
when we the first years with TJ and the Ant, we were like a TV station, pirate rate. We were like, we could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
The management isn't saying anything. You're on the air. We run these movies, and you can fill in all the time in between with whatever you want. And so that's what we did. And I mean, I had belly dancers on the show.
Ooh, risque.
But they would
Was that for the show or is that for you?
The truth is, I never, you know, like
Trying out the
nowadays
dance floors.
when you book a show, you book your entertainment and schedule them and so forth. That wasn't happening at all. TJ and the Ant, we'd have somebody just walk in, come to the front door of the TV studio, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, you know, I'm a performer. I was in town playing at the da 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 da," and they want
over
free
at the
publicity.
Oval Office.
And
I
I'm
think
like,
I'd
well,
like
come
to
on
make
in. And then also there was in the media business, there's a lot of producers out there, you know, and that's what they do for a living, and they knew about the all night theater, and they came over on their own to the late night, and they would bring their own films and videotapes and start putting these productions together, and we did it just for fun. I mean, at that time, you didn't have access like you do today to put a video together or shoot videos or anything.
Sure.
It was back then. You didn't have anything like that. So TJ and the Ant was the venue to do that. So they would come in and we would spend, you know, the movies would be running from 4 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be just busy making these productions for pure fun.
Right.
Not to make any money or anything. And episode 2, I run all of those clips that we produced.
Did
we call ourselves the All Night Air Force?
Oh, change it up a little bit. So was there wasn't any management there overnight with you, like it was just like, hey, you guys have the
Grandpa had to
studio.
go to bed. He didn't give a fuck.
But yeah, there was no like all night.
I had full ring to do whatever I wanted to do.
That's
I really did.
Man,
and
that's
those
a
days are
magical
gone.
time.
Let me tell you.
That is a magical time.
Watching the show though, because you were kind of watching this underground television production, running these cool movies, and it was great. It was kind of like, you know, you're breaking the law or something.
Yeah, and you probably felt like a part of something that was like, it was just like this, like, oh, I don't know, I can't. There's really nothing now exactly. There's nothing where you feel like you're a part of something that's.
So at that time when you were doing this, were people like around town privy to you? Like, say you were out at the store, like, TJ and the Ant, like, kind of give you maybe like a hometown hero or like little famous in the town?
Yes. I couldn't go anywhere without being recognized, and I would even be in a Kmart store, you know, shopping, and I could hear somebody say, TJ. I could hear it across the room. I'm deaf today, you know, but back then I could hear somebody say TJ across the room, So yeah, I knew I was.
Did you enjoy that? Did you no?
I don't know if you know this. I'm a humble guy.
Yeah.
I'm not an OB.
Because you were just doing something you liked and you loved to do. You weren't doing it because you were like, man, I hope people like praise me. And
Max, I think you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just. It'd be like if, we do this for virtually nobody. We just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that we got a bunch of bots that follow us, but other than that, so I feel like we kind of get it a little bit. Other than the fact that you were on like a major television station where everyone could see you, you were just putting your passion out there because it was like, this is what I love doing, this is what I want to do, and it was just other people enjoyed it and really like took to it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I worked really hard to get myself off the air. When I came up with the name TJ and the Ant, TJ was a television jockey, meaning that I'm a TJ, you're a TJ, you can be a TJ. We just take different shifts, just like radio stations. You don't hear the same jock on the air all the time.
Yeah.
There's different disc jockeys. Well, that was my envision of TJ and the Ant. It was just that why can't we jock television like they jock radio?
Sure.
That was my thought.
Makes sense to me.
But, I don't know.
Well, it was almost like cable came around and kind of.
Well, Well, first of all, it's like all this stuff happened almost simultaneously. Cable came along. The networks decided, okay, maybe we should be broadcasting all night because they're not just local; they're the whole country.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And then TV 11 was an ABC affiliate, so they didn't have a choice. To be an affiliate of a major network, you have obligations to carry their programming.
Yep.
So that's why TJ and the Ant went off the air. But I don't know if I mentioned it, but the show could have gone on Saturdays, but I was just too busy doing them.
Oh, that's
my
right.
business.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, you definitely were busy.
But the good thing is a new show came called Ned the Dead.
Ned the Dead.
Yeah.
Was that was it the guy who like painted his face?
Yeah.
Okay, that was that guy.
That was another. My Uber driver also brought up Ned the Dead.
That scared me when I was a kid, and I saw that. Like it freaked me out. I remember being like, what's going? I don't know. Just weird.
You remember Ned the Dead?
I don't like. Yeah, I never like watched it, but I remember like seeing like just an ad for it or a commercial, and just being like, "That's weird."
So what was Ned the Dead? What was the premise?
Just a.
It kind of predated Elvira,
Okay.
Showing movies.
It was like
Dressed up like a dead guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess Ned the
Was
Dead.
it like that '90s show?
He was a dead
70s
guy.
show
A
for
dead
you?
guy taken at the ticket booth.
Okay.
Just weird. Weird, creepy.
Nope.
Yeah, that's on BTV. Kind of predecessor to Svengoolie.
Okay.
He was just on TV not all that long ago.
Svengoolie. I don't know. Sounds like maybe like a beer or
Is
something.
that out of Green Bay?
Svengoolie? Yeah.
Well, I know Steve Brenzel personally, and I can tell you that I know he was very passionate about the character and respected the creator, John Shunke, and I've worked. Actually, I had the opportunity to work with Steve over the years, but I've also been mistaken that people sometimes think I was Ned the Dead, and no, it wasn't me.
He was Captain Corpuscle. He wore a diaper on his head instead.
Yeah.
True story.
All right, well,
that's my boy.
That's my boy.
All right, so here's a little history provided by the audience. So we've got Chiller Theater aired on various local television stations in the Green Bay market from 1984 until early 2009. It last aired Saturday nights on WGBA Channel 26 in Green Bay following Saturday Night Live. And then Saturdays on WACY 32. The show is hosted by Ned the Dead and his sidekick, Doc Moreau. The program features classic horror movies and other cult films. And then on March 28th, 2009, the Ned the Dead show premiered with a new format and new movies. However, the show still takes place at the Chiller Theater. New cast members have joined Ned the Dead on Doc Moreau, including Yeah, so I mean, it's still going. It sounds like, or
Yeah.
no,
I
it's
don't
not.
think so.
Oh,
No.
it didn't say on. Oh, okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Not the Dead. Interesting. Okay. I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, everyone. No, so I mean.
Yeah,
mean,
we
a
can
lot
ask
of,
Doug any more
history, a lot
questions,
of-
but when he gets back. You want?
You got any questions,
as the
Kelly?
as the
Or we
secret-
ask you questions?
What's a wild story you remember as the secretary? Of,
Don't,
no.
Mom. That is a new camera.
Oh no!
All right.
What's my question? Oh, look at my.
Yeah.
We've only been talking about it the whole night.
It's fine.
Whoa.
Not anymore. Go ahead. You can
It's
have it. Grab a beer. Go ahead.
It was bound to happen. I'm surprised it took it that long for it to happen.
As long as that camera don't go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's a wild? Is there any like a wild, late night story just of the putting the TV on, like being up
in the
all
news
night,
station, because Channel 11, that's right on Lombardi, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't really remember the walk-ins. I just remember being at the desk, taking phone calls, and then, I mean, that's really.
You talked about a lot of.
Really tired, but then waking up.
You talked about how you guys had some great times, hanging out.
Oh yeah. My sister would come and we'd hang out and we'd eat snacks and hang out and.
Yeah.
But it
It's all
was
about
it
the
was
snacks.
I just it.
Well, so Grandpa is Tom Hutchison's our grandpa.
Yeah.
Your father. So he managed it, and so Uncle Doug and Uncle Sam.
We're camera guys.
And then you and who else?
I
of
got
the
to
siblings?
be camera girl.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got to be a remote person, and so we would go on the road with that. Do you remember Stanley Siegel? You were around with all those guys too, and Bob Schultz and Ray Wheeler. Yeah, those are good times. Awesome. Right.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay. Wow. Eating snacks.
Well, we can ask. What do you want to end with, Doug?
Yeah. So we're kind of coming up to the end of the show here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other clips or anything you wanted to show or get to about for your podcast? We can end it playing the promo video.
Okay, let's do that.
If
You
you
want to
want
end
to
it
do
on
that.
the finish the promo video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
do
Perfect.
that.
That.
You might want to strap on your seatbelt.
Yeah.
It's gonna get wild.
Hello, I'm Doug Heim. Old and gray, but it's still me. For those of you that don't know or remember me, back in 1971, I started my 40-year career in broadcasting at WLUK TV 11 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. In 1977, I created Wisconsin's first all-night television show named TJ and the Ant. It stood for Television Jockey in the All-Night Theater. There's a brand new Ant coming, and this time it doesn't stand for All-Night Theater. I'll tell you more in a moment. Throughout that 40-year career, I've rescued a huge collection of films and videotapes from the trash bin. And they're all packed full of Green Bay and northeastern Wisconsin radio and television history. And that's why I concocted all of this. I call it my way back time machine. And welcome to my hidden underground ant cave, where I've been transferring old analog stuff to digital. As I was transferring everything, it dawned on me, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Well, you're looking at it. Put it on YouTube. You're not going to believe some of the stuff I've found. You're about to see snippets of historic TV shows, commercials, promos, newscasts, telethons, and even a movie. Some of this stuff goes as far back as the 1960s. And what you're about to see in the next 4 minutes is going to be absolutely amazing. You may want to fasten your seatbelt.
Let's take a look here, what I mean.
Shop, Country Mobile Home.
welcome to Riverside Presents from the Riverside Ballroom in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Cultural variety at Danceland Ballroom, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Eddie Jason.
It's 1300 WLOT. The best music WDUC.
WQLH.
WAPL is the Valley's home of rock and roll.
On my left is Parker Drew from WIXX. Bill May from WIXX Radio.
Barney's Clubhouse.
You're taking my job.
Yeah, well,
It's me, Barney, inside a Sky Scoop. That's right.
Scoop and I are live from the nightclub. Over my shoulder here, you can see the weird robot that a lot of people honestly think is real.
Hey, Culligan Man.
Say it with me. The Exclusive Company.
Good evening, Earth. I'm Ray Wheeler.
And I'm Fritzy Borgwart.
Your evenings will never be the same.
Now it's time for Bill Beagle and some fish stories. Yeah, did you hear about the one-armed fisherman? Walked to the bait shop, the guy says, catch anything? He says, yeah, I got one this big.
TJ and the Ant.
TJ and the Ant.
TG and the Ant.
TJ and the Ant.
TJ and what? TJ and the what?
Ant.
TJ, who's he?
Ain't I you? No, you're me. No, I'm you.
I'm not. Go home, Dougie.
My favorite movies are the ones you can't afford to buy.
Heavier snow showers this evening during the 1978-79 season.
Now, one step closer to walking the picket line.
Hello, I'm Peggy Wanke, your host here on the Home Video Shopper.
A new total.
A new toe. Oh, right. Let's hear
Roll
it.
that total.
This is the dance machine.
Dance machine, dance machine, the dance machine, the dance machine.
The dance machine.
WLUK, TV 11, Green Bay.
TV 11 Green Bay. We're still the one.
Hey, Barney, you still with us?
Oh, sure. I didn't go anywhere.
Stand by, going live.
Well, the weather.
Right here on TV 32.
Television show called North Country.
In Wapaka, Boise, in New London.
Menasha, Green Bay.
Oshkosh, Appleton, Wisconsin. Fond du Lac, Menasha.
What's going on?
Well, like I said, that's just a snippet of the things I have. The original TJ and the Ant premiered on the first Friday in May of 1977. So, on the first Friday of December 2023, I'll be posting the very first episode of the all-new TJ and the Ant right here on YouTube. Only this time, the Ant stands for All Nostalgic Television. I hope you'll tune in, and I'll be looking forward to your comments, requests, and most of all, your suggestions.
I mean, come on.
Definitely be tuning in December 1st. Can't wait to check that out.
Yeah, I'm excited to post it, actually.
Who came up with the theme music for TJ and the Ant? Was that you as well?
No. On the first episode, I will play the original TJ and the Ant show open.
Okay.
And I will explain that a gentleman in a band called Slammer by the name of Dave Rogers? Yes, it was Dave Rogers. And he wrote, produced it, And on the episode, I will also play for the first time anybody will have ever heard is his audition tape. They made a copy of that song, not the one that you hear on television, but prior to that, they gave me a copy that they were up in northern Wisconsin in a hotel room.
Okay.
Set up their equipment and recorded the TJ and the Ant, created, and they were drinking and just like we do, and, and created the theme song in a hotel room and made a audition recording. And they gave that to me, and I was excited about it. So they went and made the polished one that you now hear.
Okay.
So I will play the original raw.
Oh, okay.
And
I
it's
love it.
It's cool.
Very
It's
cool.
really
Love
cool.
it. That's
Very
awesome.
cool. Well,
Can't
TJ and
wait.
the Ant coming back live again.
Yeah. I mean,
Live.
watching that, I
relived.
I don't obviously recognize any of that, but I was getting excited.
I'm excited.
I know,
too.
right?
Yeah.
December 1st, the first episode is coming
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
And you say you hope to release an episode every first of the month following that
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, that's what I hope to, but I will not allow this to become a job.
Yeah.
I have to only do this because it's fun, it's pleasure, and it gives me something to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm excited to watch it for the first time. I know a lot of people will rewatch a lot of these things, but I'm excited to see some of these things that you did back then.
Yeah.
For the
Can't
first
wait.
time. Right.
Right.
Yep.
Bring back all that analog, put it to digital.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So.
It's gonna be great.
You know, another thing worth, I think that's a noble mention for the viewers and people that want to follow, not just YouTube, typing in his name or whatnot.
Yeah.
But he's got a Facebook page that people who loved TJ and the Ant.
Okay.
Okay.
I know he's like he posted that video. He doesn't post much on there, but I'm thinking you're gonna start posting.
Yeah.
We'll
links and everything.
yeah.
Of course.
Should.
We'll
Definitely.
We'll throw this. Yeah, we'll throw that link up on the episode down in there so people can
Definitely.
go check it out and everything.
And that'd be
so.
awesome. I mean, for us to see too. 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, for us, like seeing my grandpa Tom Hutchison as the manager, the guy who you were talking to with all this shit. It's awesome to see like what just everything. Because I mean, my mom worked there, my uncles worked there, and then like it's cool for us to see too,
Yeah.
even though we weren't around to actually watch it when it was first out. Like,
Right.
it's
Right,
cool.
right.
It's awesome.
It's very
I think,
cool.
Yeah.
I think everything about the podcast you're doing, for even people who weren't a part of it when it started, I think will be really interested to see like how it became what it was. And I think it's
Definitely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm amazed myself that anybody still cares.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Thank
very
all
cool.
of you so much for
Yes.
coming out.
Yeah.
today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw tonight someone I've never met before that was a big fan of the show. My son is here.
Yeah.
And a former employee of mine.
A guy, yeah.
A childhood friend, buddy that I grew up
Yeah.
with is here tonight.
Yeah.
A guy who ruined his brother's
I got
competitions on the
goosebumps, man.
Come on.
I got goosebumps. So.
Yeah.
I mean, watching that,
awesome.
with an awesome Oilers sweatshirt, by the way. Super sweet.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
No, it is really awesome. We appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. It has been
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dan.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you,
Thank
yeah.
you, my son, and your wonderful friend over there.
Yeah. yes.
Her name is Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
And thanks to Tom and Pierre from the
Yeah,
Green
thanks.
Bay UFO
Thank you
Museum
guys for
gift shop
having
and
us.
record
This
store.
is awesome.
Come check it out here
Yeah,
when you
it
have
is.
time.
Yes.
It's very awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, how about that guy who just came in here to get a breath mint and got
He came in for breath mints, left for breath mints, and 2 beers.
Can I grab a
baby.
beer for my buddy? Hell yeah, man.
You got to admit, didn't that make the night a little cooler?
Yeah, it did.
Way cool.
That was awesome. And I mean,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we were setting up and people were shopping, looking at us like we were struggling. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are these guys doing in here? But, I mean,
Right here?
yeah,
yeah,
man.
dude.
His buddy was
Yeah.
probably like, "What the fuck are we drinking, dude?"
Hold us
Oh,
accountable.
awesome,
Wouldn't have it
dude.
any other way.
No,
I love it.
No,
Love
it's been a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It's
But,
been a lot of fun.
Doug,
So.
thanks to you. I mean,
Yes, thank you, Doug.
With you coming on our show with your
I
book.
created another first, right?
Yeah,
Yes, you
no,
did.
with
Yep.
you
This is
coming
second
on with our
first.
book. A first for me reading a book. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Seamus still hasn't read a book, but that was sweet. And
I'm reading a book.
yeah, I think you were one of our first interviews. And then when Max talked to you about doing a show, I thought we were just coming on your podcast. And then he said, no, we're gonna do this in front of a live audience. And All right. I guess we're gonna. Yeah. But this is
Get
this
me
is
a Lombardi
awesome.
Alien shirt. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet. No, this is great. Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And thank you to you
Learned a
guys.
lot of things and
continue to keep learning. Yeah. All part of the show.
It's a first for us too.
I'll bet you a $20 bill. This is not the last time you're going to do a live.
I hope
cast
not.
In front of
I hope
people.
not.
Yeah.
Too. Yep.
I hope not. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
GB UFO. Absolutely.
Yep.
100%.
Awesome.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
it. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tell you what,
Hell
next
yeah.
week, next
Hell
time,
yeah, dude.
Blatz or Schlitz.
Oh, Schlitz.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bush Light,
Oh.
limes, who knows?
Old style.
Old style. Old
Okay.
style.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Carl, you want to send us
Yeah,
out of
send
here?
us out. All right. Statement. Crazy. Be here firsthand.
Not one but two different types of worlds collide when it comes to how things started from his experience, because he did a lot of shit.
Absolutely.
How it changed for nowadays when you guys like start doing what they call now as podcasts. May have been something different around the time that you started everything up, but
Yeah.
it was nice seeing like you guys learn and like share experiences and kind of like bond, you know, together as like a team almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
It's very cool. Yeah.
That is, it is really cool. What she was talking about too is two different worlds coming together. That back in our day, it took you guys rooms full of equipment and huge control boards and machines and whatever to do something now that these kids just go boom. I just posted a video.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's not only, it's
Absolutely.
Not just Invade, it's around
It's all over the
Yes.
world, baby.
I think we can thank Doug a little bit for that. too,
Yes.
For his little
Yeah.
bit of pioneering.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Doug, we wouldn't be able to do that. It wouldn't be as easy.
I think you guys will always continue to learn from each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
I think that you guys should definitely like take it all in while you can.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This was, I mean,
100%.
this is awesome. I was nervous since Monday for this.
I've been nervous as Doug proposed this
Yeah.
idea to
And
me.
then,
Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, then
You
then
wanna
when
do what with us?
We couldn't get the sound on the TV. I think we were all shaking in our boots, and then everybody
we cracked
started
a couple
drinking.
old Milwaukees
everybody started
and-
drinking a couple beers, and but this, I mean, but it, yeah.
Hell yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, this was awesome for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when we got into this 2 years ago, we started this. We didn't. I mean, me and Max always said we didn't care if we ever had viewers. It was never anything we got into to get people to watch us. It was honestly a thing for us to really kind of try new shit, try new
and connect with
just-
our community.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
connecting
yeah,
with
and
the Green Bay UFO
and get together
Museum,
and
like,
just and hang out. We just wanted to hang out. That's
Yeah.
all we cared about. And
what we're doing.
and then meeting Doug, getting the opportunity to actually like talk to people. This is something I never even thought about.
Nope.
And to be able to talk to you guys, I mean, with you meeting you have, I mean, involves our family too.
Yeah.
So
Pretty awesome.
this
man.
is fucking really cool for us too. So
Definitely.
thank you for everybody coming
Just
out.
the start.
This is awesome.
Just the start.
Really, really cool.
Well, one of the themes about you guys is you want to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
How do we do?
Yeah.
Got
Cool.
way out there.
Good. Yes.
I
We
feel a
got
little bit
way
more
out
comfortable
there.
now. But it took me a
yeah.
minute.
Yeah, man.
When you were setting up and it wasn't working, you were like,
Yeah.
for a lot of sweat to come out of you.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know how many fucks we could say before. Yeah. We didn't know how kosher we could be. Give me another fucking beer. This thing ain't working.
All right, Carl, play the music to get us
play
out of
it.
here, man.
Yeah.
Play that HUA
Thank you,
tune.
everybody. Give
Yeah.
yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Hey, send it there.
Thank you. Yes, you guys are great.
Appreciate everybody.
Episode 126.
126.
Hold
You
us
can ca-
accountable,
yeah.
baby.
You can
Live.
catch us
Yes.
every
Doug
Thursday on
Heim.
Twitch.
All that good stuff.
Blah, blah,
Thanks,
blah.
Doug.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold us accountable. Deck Pollinari. Here we go. Oh. Am I playing?
That's all right. Y'all can kind of hear it, I guess.
We're here now.
Thank you for tuning in. I know your time is valuable. There's thousands of other podcasts that you could have settled for, but now you're just vibing with two goofy dudes from Wisconsin who like to discuss their problems and figure out ways to solve them, and challenge the listeners to get up out of their comfort zone. Try some shit they ain't done before. This is Hold Us Accountable. Yeah, this is Hold Us Accountable. Yeah, this is Hold Us Accountable. This is Hold Us Accountable. Hold Us Accountable.